Hey everyone, it's Tuesday. We're back with more Pyre. I know we've had a number of people leave our team. 4. Yeah, because we have won all of the liberation rights thus far. And I'm just trying to remember. I know Headwind's gone. Joe Diriel is gone. Who else did we send up? Some people. This is the problem with playing the game on a weekly basis. Other things interfere with my brain. Okay. Book of Rights. What we got going on? What did we unlock? On Worth. Fallen Empire of Sarah was ruled according to an ancient bloodline thought to be infallible. Our society shall instead be by those who earned the privilege. We the 8, we cannot bear the burden of determining your worth. It shall be determined by your peers and by you yourself. We shall provide a framing through the rights to put you to the test against yourselves, against your kin, against your adversaries. The downside cannot let us all go free, thus freedom to the worthy. Sounds like a great system. As the worthy, your true calling then begins as you return to a society which longs to learn the wisdom you have gained along your path. The worthy shall lead. And nobody had any problems with that. Hey Pamitha, what's up? Bertrude, right, we sent Bertrude. I remember now. We sent her because I thought it was funny. Little bog crone lady slithering around, definitely causing heck. Since Bertrude's liberation, Pamitha has been rather more subdued than usual, and you find her there, perched quietly and still. How strange that I should care about some ugly crone, no? Or perhaps I'm simply jealous of her, right? Something in her voice suggests that you ought to listen rather than respond. Such horrid words I use. If only she could hear the venom that I spew. Why, she would bottle it for sure and put a pox on me besides. You see, it's just, I'm accustomed to dealing with creatures I'm more duplicitous. So much more duplicitous than she. No offense intended, present company excluded, and so on. I'd fought against her kind once in a while there upon your blood border. The Commonwealth would trot them out, perhaps when you were feeling bold or desperate too. I took them all for monsters and nothing more. We of the high-wing remnants, we knew that. We were the righteous, soaring high above those oversized maggots, hurling ancient curses at us, sometimes fire. But Bertrude and I, why, we got on just fine. She seemed to see right through me, and she didn't seem to care. She just took me for who I am. Imagine that, right? Bog dweller. Perhaps when one gets to be her age, one finally achieves some sense of perspective. Some genuine enlightenment. She smirks to herself. Anyway, I hope that she appreciates the change of scenery, though I don't think good Bertrude cared very much to leave this place, if I'm to be quite honest. She didn't. She was fine to be here. But again, it was funny. And yet, the dear old girl seems smitten enough with that Wolfred that she'll jump, and rather splendidly whenever he says jump. Would that my heart still yearn for anything when I'm her age? I suppose I'm just a little shaken that she's gone, but thinking of the terror that she'll likely cause back in that Commonwealth of yours? She laughs to herself, perhaps to you. See? Pamitha thinks it's funny too. Thanks for getting her out. So then, what say we get some rest? We'll surely need it, now that we don't have Trudy to rely on. Race you? Like, we're racing to take a nap? She swoops off, laughing over her shoulder. The friendship between Pamitha and Bertrude passed unnoticed by most all of your companions. Perhaps this was why Pamitha valued it to the extent she evidently did. For now, you have every confidence that Bertrude will prove essential to achieving Ulfred's plan. There on the other side. What are we at? 68%? 68% plan good. Let's continue our journey. Let's see where we go. There's no time now to return to the Moonlight Alcove as before, as the stars already urged you on. Everyone is ready to make haste for Cairn of Hove. Alright, well then we shall go. Whee! Ulfred approaches you as you fly above his hidden lair at the Moonlight Alcove. You cannot help but wonder if you shall ever return there. Our dear alcove, I've asked my agents to break down the place. It soon shall be gone, if it isn't already. We shall not be returning. Well, I guess that answers that question. We are not going back. We've not the time to do so anyway. And with Orlek... Oh, right, Orlek. Back among the living now, and no longer fond of me. I dare not think what he would do with it. Unfortunately, hiding places are of little value once they're found. Once all this is over, those of us who do not manage to return, we shall have to find another place to live. To try to live, at least. Whee! Oh, hi Manly. Yeah, I know, you're angry. Sky Explorer. Okay. The forbidding Cairn of Hove lies below. Not many exiles see fit to cross beyond it. Some fear that the listless remains of... Oh right, Shaq's 6 shoulders shall snatch them up if they attempt to cross. Others simply do not want to pass through to flagging hands. Few know its true significance as we do. Although your adversaries, the Fate, should be on their way there now. Soon you shall confront them once again. Okay, we can go to Shunt. Teaser's pretty happy about Shunt. Or Lick Sand. Honestly, sounds like an insult. Good supply of stardust. And something of value. So, something of value is usually a thing for... It's usually something you sell at the store. Stardust is for upgrading. Let's go here. Oh, the Beyonder Crystal seeks a challenger. Okay, what do we have on you? Coins. Okay, yeah, let's remove that. Let's give you something different. Move faster than usual. Restore your Pyre. Maybe doing some Pyre restore would be good. After dousing adversary's Pyre, bearer's Pyre recovers equal to up to 50% damage dealt. Okay, I do... It's like 17 damage. So, this would be the better one to go with. For that. Sir Gilman, you think that dimwit of a worm has any chance? Maybe not, but I like him. Perhaps you're correct, though I put little stock in him myself. Soon Sir Gilman appears in the heat of summons. Master Reader, is this knight perchance in trouble for something? Oh no! Principal's office? Did we not tell him why? The apparition appears. Your Highness, I like the sound of that. Though flattery should get you nowhere. Demonstrate your confidence. Of course, Your Highness. This knight accepts this challenge. A crone. A tree. Oh, right. Oh, crap. I went too fast. How do you work again? Do. Oh, Sir Gilman, you're getting pummeled. There we go. Much better. Oh. Okay, cool. Everything is fine. I don't really use Sir Gilman, I completely forgot how you were. Hi. Okay. Weird. That was odd. Okay, don't know what that was about. My mic kind of gave out and my headphones got a little quieter, but it doesn't sound like the game music went. No, headphone level's still where it is. Alright, sure. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Congratulations. Alright, what do we get for you? By the scales of the Underking ores, what is it you have? Ore scale. Sir Gilman jumps farther than usual, plus 30%. Search for some valuables. You and Tizo spend much of the day searching through the barren wastes of Shunt. Until, at last, Tizo indicates he thinks he's found something. We found rafter fungus. Mushrooms in your roof. Roof mushrooms. Sir Gilman is training intently when you approach. Master Reader, this knight was so engulfed in the memories of the Sea Dominion that he failed to detect your stealthy advance on his position. Splendidly done. This knight would have been vanquished by you easily. This knight is fortunate to have you as an ally, rather than a mortal foe. His kind routinely clambers from the depths of the Sea Dominion to seek greater glory, and perhaps a slightly longer life expectancy within your commonwealth. Yeah, I can't imagine the life expectancy of a worm in the Commonwealth is high. Such an honor it would be to be assigned the rank of knight and be conscripted onto the front lines of the Commonwealth against their vicious winged enemies. In the Sea Dominion, it was our ultimate goal to fight our way to the surface, past our brethren, past the razor reefs, the strangle kelp, the snaggle fins that they prey upon our kind. Sir Gilman continues listing undersea dangers and terrors for some time. The ocean is dangerous. That's what we have learned. Past the blood sniffers, the electric scallops, the rogue worms of the frigid current, the paralyzing nets of the far fissures, and even past the scalding waters of the glowing trench. Finally, he trails off. Yet, even despite the myriad challenges of living in the Sea Dominion, it is each would-be Worm Knight's duty to abandon that place at his or her soonest convenience. How humorous it was to learn that life within your commonwealth had quite a bit in common with our existence undersea. 'Twas not all pomp and glory as the stories told. Perhaps it is our lot, as Worm Knights, to bring strife with us wherever we should go. For even here, it seems, is our kind pitted both against our brethren and all others. He remains silent for a while, but then... Ah, well, it is fortunate that this knight found within this place so fine a company as yours. It is a most different change of pace, to strive toward a common purpose, rather than strive constantly to outperform each other toward one's own self-gain. Although, to the extent we are competing still, this knight shall ever strive to take the lead. Make no mistake about that, Master Reader. This knight was born to be the best, just like all the billions like him. Now he is off to steal himself. He scoots off somewhere to continue with his self-made training regimen. Nice. Hey, Waco. Need to move this watch out of the way. Alright, so we found some treasure. Continue the journey. Gotta conduct the rites. I'm curious to see where this game goes. My hope would be that we get enough people to the other side, they break the system, and then they can get the rest of us out of here. But I don't know. I don't know where the game wants to go in that way. Stop the wagon now. The black wagon was shuttered to a stop en route to the Carniv hub. There is some commotion as Volfred motions for everyone to be still. There, it seems we have a visitor. He points into the distance. However, when you scan the horizon, everything is still. You see no sign of whomever Volfred referred to. Still, he indicates caution. I'm certain that I saw someone directly in the road. A tense moment passes. Then another. Then Volfred tenses up. There he is. Look there. You look toward where he signals, and then, at last, you see the cause of his concern. Is it Orlek? There's no mistaking who it is. It's Orlek. Orlek stands there near motionless, atop some forgotten rock jutting from the desolate sprawl a fair distance away. He stands directly on the path of your black wagon. Yet he shows no sign of acknowledging the wagon's presence. He appears only to be waiting for something, likely for all view. Volfred gets your attention quietly. Well, I'm open to suggestions here. Orlek likely hasn't come to pay a social visit. Press forward. We do have a right to get to. Confrontation outside the bounds of the rights is forbidden. Maybe he just wants to talk. Maybe he just wants to talk. There has to be a... This is not the plan I would choose in a reality. I would be much more cautious. But you know what? We're in a video game. There has to be a way to reason with Orlek and bridge differences between him and his former triumvirate. Perhaps he has come to negotiate. I am uncertain Orlek is willing to be reasonable at this point, after everything he has been through. Though I am hopeful you are right. Give the signal for the drive imps to start the wagon and head toward him. But just as you reach the point where Orlek once stood, he has vanished. Surveying our strength, perhaps. His motives are plain, but his intentions unclear. Indeed, Orlek is nowhere to be found now. The unnerving encounter causes everyone to fall silent for the remainder of the trip. Your wagon finally arrives at the Carniv hub, where there is still no sign of Orlek, or your next adversaries for that matter. Your companions organize a quick search about the premises. leaving you to watch the wagon until the rite's commencement. Ooh, new page. Something is wrong. Someone is here, alone with you. Hi, I'll get to you in a second. I want to read my book. You okay with that? Great. No, the book is not good with it. But book. Fine. Orlex seems to be examining various objects in the wagon. Whether he has noticed you, you cannot tell. What he is doing here and how he got in unnoticed, you cannot imagine. You watch him go about whatever he is doing, examining all sorts of things that you and your fellow exiles gathered on your journey. He shakes his head. Oh no, is Orlex minimalist? Do we seem like hoarders? Oh, we do. All of these trinkets. This wagon, it is most different now. Welcoming, and yet I am unwelcome here, it seems. In my own wagon. He directs his gaze at you, acknowledging your presence for the first time. Hi. You, a mere shadow. Tell me something. Who are you to them? Okay, we could say we're the reader, because that's true. We could say we're friends. We could say we're nobody. Feel like that's not happening, or we could say nothing. I'm gonna say we're friends. You tell Orlac that you have traveled all across the downside with this group and count them as your trusted friends. It is a different group now than in his day. Friend, is it? Beware then, for the Nightwings do not always treat their friends with all due charity. Relay to them a message for me, Shadow. Tell them, I shall have my night. He strides right past you toward the door, but then he turns to you again once more. I shall have my night. Then Orlac is gone. Alright, Batman. Okay, Book of Rites. Fun new page. Karn of Hyob. How ironic that the shattered remnants of the Bone Titan Shaq's 6 shoulders, which once stood vigilant over the archway into Flagging Hands, remain now as forbidding as when the horrid monster still possessed unnatural life. After little Hyob dispatched the Bone Titan in a feat of ingenuity, Shax's pieces fell onto the valley floor, forming a set of standing stones, which Hyob marked. Further traces of the Titan's glacial blood coagulated into perfect frozen drops, which still shimmer in the darkness. 6 Shoulders seems to start reanimating when the stars above him dance in a certain way. Paint the sigil then in the shining light. Some tongue twisters going on there. What is... Oh, Xylobones. Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. What are these again? Xylobones? Don't usually get that kind of like fun noise thing going on from these things. We get like a little vibration from the Beyonder crystal stuff, but the Xylobone's great. What a nice little idea. Several of your companions return as you exit the wagon. Oh, right, I guess they probably would. You explain what happened. However, none of them saw Orlac. I believe you, my kin. Orlac, he is unwell. It is good you did not come to harm. Now let's make sure the same can be said of the wagon. You and the others conduct an exhaustive search in and around the Black Wagon for any signs of objects missing or tampered with, as well as signs of damage or foul play. The search yields nothing. No one finds any sign that anything was moved or tampered with. Even the drive imps seem calm. The incident leaves you questioning your own recollection of what happened. You try to clear your mind, for the rite is soon now to commence. But first, shopping. I heard a story that old Bertrude child finally got out of here. Give her my regards, because they got a lot of customers because of her. Ooh. Typhoon bottle. While the bearer's triumvirate is banished, adversaries are slowed and cannot use abilities. That sounds fun. Right, we have this for selling. And anything else in here? Right, we have the rings, which are pretty good. Oh, right. Bertrude's gone, so we can sell that. Bottled Void. After getting banished, the bear returns in a burst that draws in nearby adversaries. Oh, right, and there's the cursed talismans, too. Bear's aura remains while grasping the orb, but cannot be cast. That seems fine. Bear has 100% more stamina than usual, but cannot grasp the orb. Well, I'm gonna buy this one. I don't know if I'm gonna use it, but I'm gonna buy it. These ones, they're real popular. No refunds on these guys, you understand, but they're really good. I feel like you won't buy them back. Well, that's fine. Right light. Once per right, if the bear's pyre is extinguished, it is instead restored by +5. Fortified Sun Serum. Permanently grants +1 hope. Oh, that sounds fun. Let's take that. Unlearn any masteries and choose again. Next right. These are temporary. Yeah, okay. Hey, Romagoro. I'll see you guys again next week. Next time. New page. Forged findings. Foraged. Yeah. You spend money to find pages. There is a simple pleasure to be found in foraging about this place. Easy for a cur to say, of course. Though barren looking to the naked eye, the downside has its share of semi-hidden treasures waiting to be found. It was a nose for treasure after all which drew us here. Certain types of artifacts found in this place would fetch a reasonable sum in soul, whether because they shine with inner light or due to other special properties. I have observed that stardust freshly fallen from the heavens sometimes glimmers in the afternoons. I have not found a use for it as yet, although, because it brings me faith, perhaps I have indeed. Alright, we've been to the store, we've read all of our pages. As the sky begins to darken over the Cairn of Hayab, you see one of your adversaries clad in the colors of the Fate step forward. Where's May? She arrives on cue. Oh, hi Elmer, hello. Father asked me to salute you and the Nightwing, so here I am then. Consider yourself saluted. Oh, okay. May the scribes watch over you and Mr. Oldheart. They shall do no such thing. Know that I am only doing this to ease Father's worries, such as I can. But when night falls, you are all my adversaries, nothing more. He walks away even as the darkness grows, and the stars begin to shine. Aww. So many stars in the sky now. What's this one? The Tattered Mantle. After your adversaries grasp the orb, their auras shall slowly shrink rather than vanish. Interesting. We've done a few of these. Adversaries shall have plus 50% stamina. Done that one. Adversaries' Pyre shall recover up to plus 5 each time they douse your Pyre. Yeah, we could probably handle that. Sure.
The infamous raider returns.
Hello.
Along with their remaining retinue of miscreants. You managed recently to rid yourself of yet another one.
Mm-hmm.
Your adversaries, the Fate. As with you, they must be very desperate for their freedom. They shall not make it any easier from here.
Okay. Hail once again, O Nightwings. My son Almer tells me you've treated him most graciously. For that I am most grateful. Father, I said no such thing. But as we all know each other well now, I suggest that we dispense with further interactions for the time. We must not let our hearts take sway when we are here to honor the scribes. May listens intently to all this. Then, oh, you're right, Mr. Oldheart. I never thought of it that way, but you are right. Almer, when all this is over someday, not too long from now, and the scribes are satisfied that we have served them well, then will you be my friend? I don't know. Okay, I know you mean that too. Until then, may the scribes protect us all. May the scribes protect us all. She's so cute.
Who shall besmirch the Nightwing's name?
What do we have on you? Yeah.
May. Tizo.
I guess we could bring in Sir Gilbert. Well, we have Pyre's restored. Yeah, that seems fine.
Sir Gilman. With that out of the way.
Remta, father.
Commence. Yes. The first dousing.
Oh.
Positively brutish. Your Pyre cannot take much more of that. The orb is up. Their flame has died a little. Best not get overconfident, Nightwings. That Pyre's flames grow weak. May did it.
Elmer, I fear that I am soon to let you down once more, but I suppose it's not over yet, and so I shall fight on.
The Fate. They claim to honor this tradition, and yet their claims seldom ring true. And it is done. The Nightwings managed to prevail. Their adversaries must be crying tears of shame. The rite is ended.
Alas, the scribes do not heed our prayers this night. Come, Elmer, we are needed here no longer.
now in the wisdom of the scribes. May misfortune find you ere the turning of the stars.
Oh, hello, everybody is here. Back at the Black Wagon, you find the lone minstrel examining your fellow exiles after they bested the fate rather decisively. It's plain to you that none of them look well. The lone minstrel notices you there and turns to you. Reader, the faster turning of the cycle of the rites has put a strain on everyone. We have multiple cases of banishment sickness this time. Oh no. It is fortunate that your other companions are available to conduct the coming rite, because I fear that this group requires rest. You bid Maya swift recovery and she nods weakly. You exchange a look with Sir Gilman, who seems exhausted after the last rite. As for Tizo, it is clear that he wishes to be left alone right now. You leave the lone minstrel to look after them, and turn your attention to the stars that remain shining in the dark outside. Stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. It's gonna make me use those other characters. Okay, we could fight them. Oh, what were the accusers like again? Very then, well then, reader. Once more you shall face Barker and the dissidents when next the stars align. We set course for the Isle of Kalmar at dawn. For now, please get some rest in the remaining dark of night. Who do we have? Let's see. Okay, so we still have Tizo, Gilman, and May are unwell, so my next party has to be Pamitha, Wolfred, and Tizo. Okay. That should be interesting. Dullness the Locket. Doubtless you have seen Black Basin, whose seething fissures yet spew noxious flame and vapor at the stars. Then you have seen the remnants of the wrath of Dullness, also called the Locket, for within himself he held the fires and the rage which shaped this very land. The Ash Titan, he did threaten to devour us as we delved deeper into the reaches of the downside, till we at last outsmarted him, quenched his flames we did, when we lured an inauspicious storm his way. And so, whilst the Ash Titan has fled, the sopping coward, we can see his handiwork remains. The blackened crags forever shall bespeak the danger which he posed. Right. No, haven't read those. Well, I guess we'll just continue the journey. Gotta go fight some dissidents. Bum, 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 bum. Again, we return to the Isle of Kalmar. Hidden in the storm, I have met very few who know of it at all, much less have walked upon its stones and sands. The disconcerting tales of the demise of Kalmar Rope Collar, who met his end there on the isle, the imps that swarm and breed across the place today seem not to mind. Having paid witness to the rites firsthand, they have become rather obsessed with it. I sometimes wonder if it is more difficult to conduct the rites with such a boisterous audience. May the dissidents find their way shortly, so that the imps may have the contest they desire. I just got a trophy for smacking into someone. Good for me. Sharp Shoal. You sense the presence of your adversary Manly here and may learn of his recent activity. Bear Reef. There may be rare fish here. Oh, let's go catch fish. Fish. Lone Minstrel suggests that the sport of fishing may help pass the time as you drift among the eerie stillness of Barb Reef. Here it seems the fish are one step ahead of you. Perhaps if you keep at it, they will let down their guard. Or they won't. Keep at it. Ooh, vocations. Let's call it quits. You decide the fish will wait for their other matters to attend to. You should have time now to pursue your vacations. Perfect. Let us mentor a companion. You. Let's mentor Volfred. Spend some time talking about some stuff. It's been a while since my last outings in the rites, begging for continued patience as I recollect the way. Okay, from you. If Volfred is banished, a sapling shall automatically spawn near his pyre until he returns. Once per rite, if Volfred's adversaries extinguish, his pyre is restored by +10 instead. This is all about sprouts. Losing shield. Volfred shields his allies as well. Permanently gains +5 hope, hastening how quick he returns. Once per rite. Oh, let's go with this one. Alright, cool. Continue.
You are nothing, reader.
Hi.
Nothing but a mindless simpleton. Your every action is a stain upon the legacy of the 8 scribes.
You sound grumpy.
The rites have been a long-held secret to keep out those such as you.
Well, it's not a very good secret, is it? If I'm here. You wake from what little sleep you managed this past night. Once more the voice tormented you within your dreams. You attempt to rid your memory of it. If the voice truly is that of the Archjustice Androblus IX himself, as Volfred indicated, then none of you are likely to receive too warm a welcome, should you regain your freedom. Honestly, I think he just didn't... He needs coffee or something. Maybe he can't drink coffee if he's just a voice. Oh, hey, a messenger imp traveled all the way to your location in the dark waters of Deathless Tempest to bring you the latest news and rumors from the other side. The imp brings tidings about Bertrude in particular, and what became of her since she was liberated at the fall of Solium. You learn she shrugged off all the pomp surrounding her return and retreated to her native home in the southern bogs. Thereafter she proved difficult for the Commonwealth to reach. Each time officials came to her with various opportunities, she would curse them, then send them on their way. Finally, however, she met with certain guests of a different sort. She is now working with Volfred's sons and daughters of the Revolution, putting messages to parchment and creating pigments that they use to spread their word and cause. She leaves a message for you personally. We shall be watching ye. Coming from her, you take it as a compliment. You thank the imp for bringing you these details as your companions gather to discuss. But it is good to hear the stately Bertrude is as headstrong as ever, now that she is home. This knight would have you know that he was often terrified of her. Now there's someone I wouldn't want it to be my enemy. It was enough to have her as a friend. My debt to you is finally repaid, O Bertrude, my old friend. Yet through your great wisdom, we might still achieve much more. Scroon! Jizzo expresses hope to one day visit Bertrude at her home in the southern bogs. She must know everything. I could have learned so much from her, I think. I hope we'll see her again soon. The news of Bertrude's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with resolve. The messenger imp accepts a small bite to eat from you and heads off. Everybody gets some hope. to really do in there. You know, Dad here, he don't like talking much, but don't get weirded out by anything, because I think he likes you, especially when you buy things. Ooh, what's this? Fortified Star Serum. Permanently grants +1 quickness. Well, I have money for that. Let's buy it. Okay. I have a new page. I should also use some of that stuff. Slug markets. There are natives in this land with some capacity for thought, an oddly keen instinct for the mercantile, suspicious creatures, but not disagreeable entirely. From time to time we make exchange with them. They lust for coins for the imperial soul, though why, they do not say. We speculate it is a delicacy. It serves us little purpose here, whilst their slug market wares are sometimes valuable. The creatures appear drawn to places where the heavens shine the brightest, perhaps because they know we are as well. What they want exactly is unclear. We taught them of our lands, yet they remain preoccupied with simpler things. I should use some of these things. Let's see. What do we have for... Your quickness is 12. I have to use you. Your quickness is 8. 2.4 meters per second. Meters? I don't think that's what that M stands for. Okay. So what do I have? Quickness and hope. Hope as the length of your banishment time. And I'm gonna have to give you guys some stuff. We have moves quicker. Does somebody else have the... Oh, I think we only bought the one ring. Dousing adversary's Pyre, recover equal to up to 50% damage dealt. Move faster while carrying the orb. Yeah, let's do that. You stand before the bizarre outcroppings of the Isle of Kelmer. The sky darkens, and in the distance you hear the sound of gibbering creatures growing louder. The sound of it is unnerving enough that your fellow exiles remain quiet, their eyes affixed to the stars above. Oh, what's-his-face is definitely going to show up here. Soon something in the sky above begins to stir. Okay, we're going to turn that off. Go in without.
Rita, I am still very cross with you, you know.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
To think I saw in you a worthy heir.
Oh, did I disappoint you?
Not just to the legacy of the Night Wings, but to the future of the Commonwealth.
Uh-huh.
That traitor Volfred. Only a fool would be seduced by his audacious promises and his dangerous ideas. That, dear reader, would make you a fool. I have no choice but to explain it thus, so even you could understand. Now for this blasted rite. Some of us still have our duties to uphold.
You could have just said you were disappointed in me. It's much clearer, honestly. The adversaries whom you were to confront, that when instead you had your run-in with Orlak, have assembled at the opposite side of the clearing, and their pyre burns bright. Barker emerges from the ranks of the dissidents and calls out to the rest of you. Now where's the big old demon what you sicked on us last time? That was a downright dirty trick, as we were real keen on sinking our teeth into you. Gotta give it to you, though, my pack and me, we didn't think you had the guts to play it raw like that. Though now, we're gonna give a little payback, we was thinking here. The dissidents seem all the more determined to prevail against you now, after Orlak denied their chance to stand against you last time.
Choose now your band of traitors.
Yes, I know, you're still angry.
Tizo. Hamatha. Volfred. The choice is cast.
Prepare yourself, everyone. Been itching for another go. Let's have it. Tear him to shreds.
Good.
Whoa.
Tough luck,
Yep, they're
Nightwing.
very aggressive today.
Already does your fire's flame begin to flicker. Your... Oh. Blessed be. Your pyre burns brighter for a while. Exactly my report. Volker vanished. Tizo takes the plunge. The orb. Glory to the scribes. Yes. Ouch. And it is done. The blasted Nightwings prevailed somehow.
Think you're still angry.
Hardly deserved it, though, if you ask me.
Nobody's asking you.
The right is done.
Oh, you think you're better than us because you beat us fair and square here? Is that it? Ah, at least you got me blood to boil a bit.
There is much to learn from this experience. The exiled Pamatha perhaps can learn the errors of her kind.
Okay, what do we have for you? 5 seconds after banishing an adversary, Pamatha moves 30% faster than usual. While flying, Pamatha moves faster than usual. Casting can trigger an orb. If Pamatha is banished while Winged Fury's effect is active. Permanently gains +4 quickness. What do we get over here? After saluting her adversaries, Pamatha instantly switches places with her nearest ally. Interesting. Use her dash ability in rapid succession for less stamina. I think we're gonna go with faster flight.
Holy power of the eldest matriarch. Begone now from my sight.
Okay. But remember, you're the one who keeps bursting in on my dreams, not the other way around. There proves little time to rest at the Black Wagon, after your fellow exiles secured victory over the dissidents in a pitched battle. Those afflicted with banishment sickness seem to be doing better, at least, and express gratitude to Tizo, Pamatha, and Bulfred for their efforts. Just then, the lone minstrel appears before you. No words escape his lips. You can guess full well what he has come to indicate to you, and follow him back out into the darkness. The stars above seem to be few and fading, and yet still one shines, defiant. You notice the lone minstrel standing there with you, regarding the night sky. You know if we end up losing any of these fights, that voice is just gonna be like, I don't know, really smug about it. The Gate Guardian and I, we have paid witness to the liberation rites upon the fall of Solium for a long time. We have seen so much. And so, I am a bit taken aback is all, to see something which I have never seen. You look upon the stars together for a while, then... I wish for you good fortune and the wisdom of the scribes on your ascent. The lone minstrel leaves you there alone under the night. It has grown very light and you need rest. The black wagon shall have to take flight again come morning. Taken. Okay. Flying for fun. Do do do. Okay, we can go to here. Sir Gilman gained favor. Something appears different now about the sacred mountain west of here. The lands near Emperor's Ascent and Emperor's Fall appear ashen. On the other hand, the once precarious regions below, which you know as Temple High Road and Temple Cistern, seem swept clean by the elements. Wolfred observes all this alongside you. It is as though the entire downside now is well aware that soon the cycle of the rites shall cease to turn. The weather lately has been very much unusual, to say the least. In this case, however, it appears we have afforded us a bit of a shortcut. We should be able to make landing closer to Scribes Gate now. Just as well. I think all of us are feeling rather more on edge these days. A swifter journey to the summit seems that we can all conserve our strength for the coming trial. Okay, high road. Okay, Tizo gains favor if we go to the high road. Sir Gilman... Okay, but Tizo I know is going to end up in this trial for sure. You arrive once more among the ancient formations of Mount Allendale. It appears that Lendl and the accusers have already arrived along the other route. With some time to spare after having landed, you join Tizo on a brief expedition to the monument of Jomir Manybane. Greetings to you once again, great-grandfather. You should know I often think of you, more often these days even than before. The friends whom I now serve, I think that they could use your help, and if you are willing to impart it. You know I do not like to ask you favors, but I think this is important. You return to the wagon once he has finished paying his respects. You have occasion once more to pursue your vacations. Ooh, Tizo gets some presents. Yeah, we have 3 we can mentor. Kind of like the idea of working with Pamitha. Okay, yeah, let's mentor Pamitha. Okay. Dash ability rapidly. I do like this instant switching. Let's go with that. See if I remember to salute. I feel like this isn't going to be our last instance of letting someone go up. I feel like we get at least one more. Again, you stand before the Scribes Gate, where the Gate Guardian regards you above an archway carved from stone. The exiles of the Nightwings, you must know by now that once the stars no longer shine, the rites shall cease. For now, step forth. Except for you, Tarek. You stay right there. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared, and as for me, you shall not blaspheme under the gate again. Do we understand each other, Tarek? Aye, Celeste. I apologize for my behavior before. I shall adhere more strictly to my duties. Be sure of it. Now each of you come forth. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one your companions cross the gate until it is your time to do so, and you follow them in turn. The gate guardian regards you all, then waves you through toward the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Am I free to accompany them, Celeste, or shall I remain here? She looks at him a while. You are free to accompany them, Tarek. As you will, Celeste. Until we meet upon the summit, then. Alright, one last store time. Oh, it's you. I get... Okay. You got here right on time, because I was just thinking, maybe I closed a little early, you know? Business has been really good and everything. It's just, it's a little slow in spots, and I was thinking maybe I should do a sale. What do you think? Go for it. We should suggest a sale might liven some stuff up. I guess there's a way to look at things. I'm gonna think about it. Stew on it a little while, you know. No promises. Shooting star. The bearer can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. What a fun idea. I don't think I really want to buy anything though. I did that thing. I came into a store while it was closing, and they really just wanted me to leave. At least I didn't buy anything and ruin their cash out. Once more, the time has come for the liberation rite, where one among you can go free if you prevail. Freedom is likely at stake for your adversaries, the accusers. As your companions gather under the fall, awaiting the commencement of this vital rite, the lone minstrel finds you and regards you in his calm fashion. Night is falling. These moments prior to each commencement, I must admit, they give me pause, knowing so much is at stake during the trial that is to come. Tell me something, would you, reader, to ease the waiting for us both. I have traveled far and wide, even beyond these lands. However, the Commonwealth, I know only through word and song. I sometimes think on what life would be like out there. If you were not ensnared within this place and free to roam your country, what would you have done with all your days and years rather than striving here under the stars? Let's see, farming? Life on farm? Sail the seas? Retired to the outskirts? Maybe fought for freedom? I'm gonna be honest, probably wouldn't have fought for freedom. Retiring sounds fun. Maybe we would have gone sailing. The Sea of Solace does not compare with the vastness of the oceans on the other side. You oft wondered at what mysteries they hold and thought perhaps you could have found them out. I understand the yearning to explore. Particularly if exploring could be done on one's own terms. The life of the sailor, then. Would that you find your freedom on the sea someday. Just then, the lone minstrel looks forth, and you see that it is time. The stars above, though faint, begin to burn. So many of these. What? Like 12? It's probably all of them. Shack's 6 shoulders. Shack's 6 shoulders. Great name. That's so hard to say out loud.
The stars that yet remain aflame align once more over the sacred fall of Solium. 'Twas here that the 8 scribes ordained the glorious tradition in which you now participate. The glorious tradition which you and that instigator Wolfred seek to undermine.
Yes, I know you're still angry about
It
that.
is my sincerest hope your adversaries in this liberation rite achieve instead what they desire. May the accusers quickly quench those flames of yours. Let us get on with the proceedings then.
I'm sorry Wolfred spurned you. Get over it. The pyres burn in each of the Trivariates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn in each of the Triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the accusers, come forth now and declare yourself and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Poised as ever, Lendl steps forward and reaches for his mask. I was branded Lendl the Liar. Once I reclaim my liberty, that name shall be forgotten, and my rightful station in the Commonwealth shall be restored. Nightwings, you may have prevailed against me when we last met here upon this sacred site, but the many years since then have taught me much. I shall not fail again. Yet you still hold much resentment for your adversaries, is that not so, Lendl? Resentment is too kind of a word for it. They are cheaters, one and all, unfairly favored by those scribes, while those such as myself must struggle endlessly for such a chance. Now come, my accusers, let us vanquish those undeserving oafs, and prove now to the scribes that they were fools to favor the likes of them. He dons his mask once more. I am ready. May you heed your heart in making your choice. I trust you prepared to play the hymns. Always. Now, who are we gonna set free?
Endeavor to return.
Our choices are May, Tizo, and Sir Gilman. These choices are so hard now. Really like having May around. Sir Gilman's really great. Yeah, you know what? We'll see if we can't send Sir Gilman out.
Sir Gilman.
Has this knight at last regained his honor? Let us find out.
Who shall be at his side? Tizo.
Come then, Nightwings, and look upon me one last time, for by dawn I shall be free, while you all wallow in the terrible defeat we have in store for you.
Commence!
You, imp! He singles out Tizo from across the sacred grounds. The indignity which you have wrought upon me all those long years, tonight it shall be washed away, as I at last return unto my post. Long had I toiled into this abominable place, only for you, pathetic wretch that you are, you, of all things, to thwart me and my accusers in our moment of triumph. It was small consolation knowing that the Nightwings fell apart soon after, a misfortune which you doubtless wrought yourself. Hey, Lendl, you want to go take a break or something? As for we have clawed our way back to this mountaintop, you sniveling, loathsome little beast, and this time things are going to transpire in a very different manner. Just you watch. But Tizo just stares right back at him, betraying no emotion. But then he claws at his mask. Certain imp expressions resist translation. Suffice it, Tizo does not hold Lendl in high esteem. It seems Tizo does not hold Lendel's mother in high esteem either. Tizo. Then he dons his mask once more. Why, you! How dare you raise your weakling voice at me, you blasted Nightwings! Would that we could all go free, that I might have you all arrested and then sentenced once again. Now get out of my way! Now, accusers, grant me your auras and your anger, that we may finally secure our rightful victory against these demons whom we face. He's channeling the auras of his Trivariate, and their strength combines with his. This must be the Aura Gain, a secret technique developed by the accusers to ensure their victory and liberation rights. It hasn't worked very well, yet has it?
Of Solium Myrrh. No, you don't. Such a display. Headlong goes Sir Gilman into flame. Now go on, just once more. How sad for that one there.
Dang it.
Oh, so close. Get out, Tizo.
Hey, don't be mean to Tizo.
Somebody get the orb.
Pushy voice.
There it is. The Nightwings proved their worth. Their adversaries they defeated utterly. Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus the scribes have chosen
And now we're sending a snake.
the exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory.
But this just
in the
really
Commonwealth.
boils your blood.
His
Huh?
adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
I bet the voice gets really upset if you send Sandalwood. Blast you, Nightwings. Again, you cheated me. Have you no pride at all in this tradition? Pretty sure I won fair and square. It just says you lose doesn't mean the other team cheated. Sir Gilman stares at nothing in particular. You sense he is still taking in what has transpired and what it means for him. So then this night he is to be free? He is to be free? Nay, but that would mean his honor is restored. One cannot go back into our commonwealth by any other means. This knight's exile was self-wrought, his disgrace profound, that he has been atoned under the eye of the Underking and those of all his noble comrades. He begins to grow very emotional, and then... This knight loves you all! He loves you all, that you would strive for him, and let him join your noble quest. This knight does not feel as though he is deserving of this outcome, yet the results appear inarguable. Even now, this knight is drawn into the Shimmer Pool. Our time grows brief. Therefore, know this, beloved friends. This knight shall ever strive on your behalf, there in the Commonwealth. Though his honor may have been restored, his true journey only now begins. And so, good friends of the Nightwings, this knight must now bid you farewell. However, the bonds we form together shan't be broken by mere distance, nay. Strive on, good friends, strive on. Oh, I'm gonna miss Sir Gilman. You can still hear Sir Gilman as he vanishes into the Shimmer Pool. If this lonely knight would have achieved such glory, surely can you all. For now, farewell, farewell.
Godspeed, Sir Gilman. Perhaps the scribes are watching even now. Watching as their glorious tradition draws to a close. Now take your execrable companions someplace else.
Running out of companions. He prevailed in the liberation rite against the accusers. Already does the Black Wagon feel quieter than usual without Sir Gilman, who returned to the Commonwealth. I bet it does. He was not a quiet companion. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this. I think I learned so much from him, didn't I? Tizo is trying to console May with an imp-soothing song. You wonder who, if anyone, among you shall be the next to go. Our plan approaches a key turning point. Let us ensure it soon comes to fruition, not only for ourselves here, but for our companions and our loved ones in the Commonwealth. Our success rate is at 80%. That seems good. But we have little time now for reflection into this. Look yonder, reader. The stars demand we go, already. Let us help them usher in the end of all of this. Tune your attention to the glimmer of the stars. Their current rate of disappearance suggests another liberation rite shall be coming very soon. What do we have as choices? Trieste to the Silver Star. The Bog Crones. What are they? They're harps? The worms are pretty quick. The harps are pretty quick. I don't really want to fight the Bog Crones right now. Maybe we'll go talk to the harps. Pamitha and Tamitha could go be angry at each other. Now the stars bid you to return to the Hulk of Ores, where you shall stand against the Essence once again. Your adversary, Tamitha Thane, likely knows the cycle of the rites is drawing to a close. Her last remaining chance to earn the favor of the scribes and then regain her freedom likely hinges on the outcome of this next rite. The cycle of the rites is soon to end, the exiles of the downside striving to be free. Your adversaries, your companions, even you yourself are running out of time. That sounds like we're getting close. We got history. This book cannot accompany you if you should earn your freedom. It is to remain here for your successors, for it is bound together inextricably, not quite getting that, with us. There is no sorcery, however, to prohibit you from spreading forth its teachings. We charge you to go forth and share what you've learned along your path. Reveal not the rites themselves nor the existence of this book. Transcend its bounded limitations, for it cannot be transcribed. Any such attempt shall fail. Beware of those who would dare read it on the other side. Under their guise of seeking wisdom may yet lurk a much darker desire to undo which we strive to do. Following Sir Gilman's liberation, the lone minstrel has returned to the wagon, and stands as though nothing has happened here this night. He tilts his head a bit as you approach. Once more the night rings have prevailed in the liberation rite under your mindfulness, reader. A commendable achievement. Surely Sir Gilman shall live out his days in gratitude to you and your companions. Perhaps you may now seek Bertrude there, in your commonwealth. I should think Bertrude would have liked to witness what took place this night. I trust that together they shall make a formidable difference to the plan which all of you endeavor to achieve. Now for the time, Celeste and I are to return to our respective stations. We all await in the next turn of the cycle of the rites. May you prevail once more when we next traverse Scribe's Gate. Until then, reader, rest well under the stars. He nods and leaves you to recover after a long night. Keep going. At dawn, your companions are prepared to depart. Everyone is silent. Your travels are to take you back to the Hulk of Ors, but soon after, the stars shall draw you here again. Soaring above the Sclorian shore, you notice Pamitha gazing down at the frozen cliffs below. That damn place down there. I like it least of all, I think. Among everywhere we've been, I'm thankful that there's been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home is all, the high-wing remnants. We all grew accustomed to the thinner air and the cliffs that breach the clouds above your commonwealth. But it was not the nicest placed. Little wonder that my sisters settled for a rather warmer base of operations in this land, there by the nest of Trieste. Anyway, I'm pleased to spend as little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. Okay, we can go to the Fathomless Trench, or we might find something of value. Under King Pass, where we can get a blessing. Or we can go to Ragged Rock. Let's go to Ragged Rock. Oh. Pamitha, huh? Alright, sure, scribe trial. The feisty harp, she has may yet be taught some manners, I should think. Called for me. Oh, it's the crystal. Alright, let's just do it. The Aberration Sandra Pierce. Bossy one. What do we fight with you? Pyre. Okay. One more hit. That's all we need. No! Oh, happy as can be, my doubtless pretty harp. So good of you to ask. So sarcastic. Alright, what do we got for this? Triestus Plume. While flying after dousing the adversary's pyre, Pamitha may instantly return and deals +3. Oh, that's pretty fun. Let's go stick that on you now. Let's see, May's got her talisman, you've got yours. I guess Sandalwood's really the only one left for that. Let's explore the ragged rock. Something about the undulating waves of ragged rock gives Wulfred a strong intuition to explore the area. Together you set out to take a look. I should like to join you for a stroll. There seems to be nothing in particular in the vicinity, but then Wulfred raises his voice. Why, what have we here? A departing gift, perhaps, from others such as we? The object in question is lodged deep in the ground and bears the mark of the rites. You sense you may be able to secure its contents, but the mystic wards will not be easy to undo. Oh, let's open it. You focus all your mental faculties on the mystic wards sealing the box's contents. Soon you are left exhausted, but the box's lid unfastens. Inside it is a talisman, placed where perhaps by one of your predecessors in the rites from ages past. Fairy Spirit. After bearer banishes an adversary, spawn a moondrop which briefly grants stamina. Neat. Hey guys, it's been really quiet. It's like, I mean, especially without that little slippery guy that used to hang out with you. Talks like this a lot, you know what I mean? Hope he found that R thing he's been going on about. We don't get that in stock. Okay, what do we have? More stuff. Yeah, so you can sell this. Because we can't use it. Let's buy some powder.
Felicitada os exclamatais.
Indigenous imps. Special mention must be given to the downside's most prolific native creature, which we call the imp. With all respects to our comrade, Hayab, an imp himself, possessing of extraordinary intellect, most imps are driven by the simplest impulses: to eat, to drink, procreate, move, survive. These creatures, then, are symbols of this place. They are far more resilient than they seem. Though wild by their nature, they, like all of us, can learn. Hayab insists that imps are willing to be put to work. Like other aspects of the downside, they wish more than to exist, but to exist with purpose. Alright, let's commence this right. The afternoon is just beginning to give way to nightfall as you and your companions finish making preparations for the coming rite. Through all of the ceremony, you realize Pamitha is nowhere to be found. The last anyone saw of her was shortly after the Black Wagon came to rest here at the Hulk of Horrors. She returns just as you are beginning to plan a search for her. Sorry to have worried you there, reader. Just getting a little antsy is all. Had to go and spread my wings a bit and shake away the nerves. She's holding something back. Don't you get in my head. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, damn it. Damn you, reader. Get out of here. Get out. Get out! Anyhow, it looks as if the show's about to start. I shall be in the field with the others. As Pamitha departs, you see she is right, as the stars above begin to shine. You know she is about to face her sister Tamitha once again. You accept that there's a very private matter between them.
It seems the stars once more have mustered wherewithal to usher in the rites. The sky grows dimmer by the day. An age is ending. Surely you must know by now that you shall never all be free.
Nah, I kind of figured that out at the beginning of the
Still
game.
You struggle to fulfill some senseless plan.
Something
But
to do.
I digress, of course. Some of us still honor the tradition. Some of us hold dear the teachings of the scribes.
Okay. The winged exiles of the Essence take position opposite of your own companions, and their leader soon asserts herself. Pamitha, come forth. No trickery this time. She appears as asked, though remains silent as her blood sister studies her for a time. Tamitha then reaches for her mask. You look wary to me, sister. Oh, too little sleep, I guess. I do get rather anxious sometimes on the night before one of these things. It can be a lot of pressure. Understandable. The two of them say nothing for a time. You cannot discern what they are thinking. The high wing remnants all seem to be very, very mentally acute, trained as if they are from birth. Soon enough, Pamitha cuts through the tension, her tone light as ever. So giving further thought to my proposal then? I have. And I think that now is not the time for talk. Besides, your comrades there, surely you give them pause. Even now they must be questioning your loyalty. What? But I... Oh, cut it with the stammering, Pamitha. It is very unbecoming. You know that. And you be sure to tell those comrades of yours what you proposed to me. She dons her mask once more. As she rejoined the other exiles of the Essence, Pamitha hesitates before returning to your group. I told her she could take my place. That I would keep her up to date about our progress and that she could take my place if ever it was time for me to go. But you don't have to worry. For one thing, she refused, and for another, well, I'd better tell you later. For now, remember you can count on me.
Choose quickly, your triumvirate. Tizo.
You take Tizo. Oh, I want to take Pamitha for flavor reasons.
Tamitha.
Yeah, May.
May.
Shiru-sama?
Fine.
I hope that Pamitha and Tamitha make amends somehow, because my understanding is that family is important. Isn't it? Face us, wastrels of the Commonwealth. The pain and loss of your defeat this night shall reverberate not only in your hollow hearts, but in the homeland that abandoned you. You had a lot of time to think about that one, didn't you? Are you quite sure it has to be this way then, sister? There is no compromise here, Pamitha. Not for traitors to my country or my blood. I understand. Then so be it.
Commence. The first dousing.
No. You seem so distracted, Pamitha. Is there something more you wish to say to me? Words you feel that I am owed, perhaps? Pamitha stops at this and reaches for her mask. I'm sorry for what I did to you, sister. For what you did to me? Your apology rings as hollow as your plumage. You might rehearse it further upon every last survivor of the high-winged remnants. Now, no more talk.
Such hatred spewing constantly from Tamitha, yet here in exile, she has naught but talk.
By the scribes. Almost. The orb quenches the flame. Hamatha, be gone! Oh. Now to the flame, and it is done.
I love the way
Yes,
Tizo
you
hops
prevail
around. It's so
again.
cute.
May their next adversaries fare a little better. The rite is complete.
You win, Blood Sister. You win. I don't suppose that means you'll reconsider. You know that I cannot. You were always obstinate, but in the regard and all others which count for anything, you are inferior to me. Remember that. What you offered is meaningless to me. I shall free myself without your help, or that of anyone. Now then, farewell. Tamitha, you realize you need like 2 other people on your team in order to free yourself, right? That's technically not by yourself? Okay. Wait, what of our comrades, the Essence? You must need them at least. Mincing my words, as ever, Pamitha. Know that I do love you in a way. Is that what you wish to hear? But my purpose is plain, and you stand in its way. You are a fool to think my freedom is my goal. My freedom is a means towards an end the likes of which you never would abide. Do you think you could sway me from my purpose, Pamitha? Pamitha remains silent for some time. No, I think that you will struggle to destroy the Commonwealth, no matter what it takes. No matter if, in doing so, you were destroyed instead. Just so. Then. Just so. So then you understand me after all. Pamitha does not turn to watch her blood sister depart.
The rites do tend to teach something of trust. You may go now at your earliest convenience.
Okay. Inside the wagon, after defeating the Essence, Pamitha is discussing aspects of the outcome with the others when the lone minstrel seeks you out. Pardon the interruption, reader, though I need to ask you a moment of your time, while the night is clear enough for you to see. Please come take a look outside. Perhaps the news of your next destination may further stir the hearts of your companions. Among the stars yet remain shining in the night, one of them now burns as bright as ever you have ever seen. Uh-huh. Oh, we're gonna go fight, May's friend. The cycle turns even more quickly now, until such time as it shall shudder to a halt. He makes a sound, then almost like a laugh. I forget myself, reader. I should not say such things. The scribes, they would say that one ought focus on the path in front of them. When we set forth to walk along a labored path, it can be all too much. If we stand back and look upon it as a whole, we may well decide to turn around. But if we begin to walk whilst casting down our gaze, and whilst resisting the urge to look too far ahead, We may make steady, careful progress. Soon enough, we may arrive where we endeavored. The lone minstrel bids you a good evening. You had best retire for the night, for when first daylight comes, it shall be time again to take to the skies. But there's somebody to talk to. Despite Pamitha's mental conditioning, you can tell something is troubling her. She won't listen to a word I say, not one damn word. If she weren't my blood sister, I should think I'd hate her guts as much as she hates mine. She shakes her head. I should apologize. To you and everyone. I sought out Tamitha without asking your leave. Figured I would rather seek forgiveness than permission. You understand. My attempts with Tamitha didn't amount to much, as well you saw. So at this point, I'm hopeful you'll be more accepting of apologies than she. Though, tell me something, reader. Do you suppose I'm going to betray you? You may know better than I do at this point. No, I think she'll be fine. You expressed to Pamitha that you do not view her efforts to make peace with Tamitha as being contradictory to the group's larger goals. You understand why she did what she did. She says nothing for a while. That's kind of you to say. May the others see it with such generosity. But if they don't, you need but tell me to depart, and I'll be on my way. However, I have a promise that I wish to make to you. You let me stay, and I'll see this through with all of you, no matter where we all end up. I'll be on the roof for a bit, I think. You take care, too. Despite Pamitha's disappointment with the outcome of her confrontation with her blood sister, you sense she is less troubled now, after your brief conversation. I mean, even if the rights aren't ending, with the amount of players we have, we can only send up, like, 2 more people before we don't have enough people to do the rights. Hi. Your wagon reels from the impact of some sort of massive object slamming into it mid-flight. You mean the one we waited for? False Nightwings. Orlek calls down to all of you from atop his wagon. Again you seek to climb that cursed mountain beneath us. Again you seek to take my rightful place. I should send you crashing down to it, that you might fall as I have. He stares down at all of you. But I shall not. Rather, we shall meet upon the summit, ere the last cycle of the rites is ended. Until then. Bye. Okay, we can go here. Pamitha will gain favor, or we can go here where May will gain favor. Let's go here. Orlek is very crabby. Honestly, since he got anointed, you'd think that he'd still be able to maybe go up the Shimmer Pool, but maybe that only lasts for so long. You make landing on the sacred Mount Aladiel after your encounter with Orlek. Orlek spoke the truth. He has a right to gain the summit. When the time comes, Celeste shall deem him worthy and shall let him pass. While he has transgressed against the rites, he has also already been anointed and prevailed. Nothing is written in the book on this, and liberty ought already be his. For the time it seems that he has not yet traveled to the summit. Perhaps he is still making preparations with his fellow exiles. When exactly Orlek intends to make good on his promise, he did not make clear. For now you are to confront Delbert and the fate upon the summit, but first you may prepare. Alright, so he's probably our last fight. Yeah, let's go seek the Wormscribe's favor. Later that afternoon, you accompany May through the old masonry of Temple Cistern to the monument of Under King Ors. O scribes, if it truly is your will that the cycle of the rites shall soon be ended, then I look forward to its glorious conclusion. May the worthiest among us reap your generous blessing, and may we all, who are so fortunate to be a part of your traditions, bear you in our hearts forever. You return to the wagon after she has finished paying her respects. Summit awaits, but first there is time to continue practicing your vocations. Oh. May seems to be speaking to herself again. She is unaware of your presence, or shows no sign of it at least. Mercy, freedom, they are intertwined. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind. She is reciting passages from the Book of Rites, though to your knowledge she cannot read. Freedom to the worthy. The downside cannot let us all go free, thus freedom to the worthy. Is that not so, O Saint Triesta? Is that not the conclusion which you formed with your 7 most trusted friends? She pauses for a while as though listening, and nods her head from time to time. Yes, I see. I see. Well, I am ever grateful to you, Saint Triesta, for your guidance and your presence. And I wish all your friends safe passage there among the stars. It must be so very beautiful out there. With your wings, you can fly freely, can't you, Saint? You can visit me at any time, come and go as you please from the stars all the way here. You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. I know. And yet, sometimes I wish I was like you, or like Miss Pamitha. But I know I am the way I am because I'm meant to be this way, and I know that you are always watching, so thank you, Saint Trista Tithias. Thank you and your friends. She wanders out into the afternoon, leaving you there to consider her words. In the Commonwealth, her unwavering faith in the 8 scribes would be seen as a delusion. Such prayer or communion was forbidden. The scribes were mythical figures, but even they worshipped the stars, and it was the stars that lighted the way for the founders of the Commonwealth, or so its leaders taught. Alright. Gonna mentor Volfred. What do we want? We shield everyone. Permanently gain +5 hope. Hastening. Yeah, we'll go with speed. Deep in the splendors of Mount Alodiel, you find a messenger imp looking to bring you the latest news and rumors from the other side. This time around, the imp brings tidings of Sir Gilman and what happened to him since his liberation at the fall of Solium, when at last his self-imposed exile came to an end. You learned that his return to the Commonwealth was met with much rejoicing, and that before long he was promoted to the rank of Veiled Captain on the Blood Border. And yet, the tears welling in his eye, he did refuse the post, stating he no longer had the heart to fight against the High-Wing remnants as he once did. He then cast down his helmet, and when next anyone saw him, he was among Volfred's agents, having joined the revolution to reshape the Commonwealth from within. You thank the messenger imp for the report and salute it crisply, as surely Gilman would have. Soon the news has everyone in the wagon talking. Noble Gilman had made the gallant choice, it seems. Our plan comes closer to fruition through his good example and support. One of the Sea Dominion's own, laying down his arms by his own choice. I'm honestly surprised even having known him. Grah! He so feels inspired by the news of Gilman's selfless actions. Do you think that one day I can be as brave as him? Because I don't always think I can. The news of Gilman's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Plus hope for everybody. You return once more to Scribe's Gate, where the Gate Guardian awaits under a dim sky. The exiles of the Nightwings and you, Tarek. This is to be one of our final meetings. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared, and afterwards, I would have words with you in private, if you please. It seems to me rather late for words now, Tarek, but I shall hear them once your charges cross the gate. Now all of you come forth. Please state your names and what it is you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. Once more your companions cross the gate one after another, and once more you follow them in turn. Celeste regards you all, then waves you through toward the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. And Tarek? You may rejoin the others in a while. For now, I would hear those words of yours. Everyone, I shall see you shortly.
The plains that sleep below, to the canyons open wide, hear the song of journey for the lost and lonely bride.
Hey guys, this guy is really cold. Okay, maybe it's just, could you buy something? Plus 4 presents. It's 94. This one's 39.
Open wide, singing songs of gentle
I could probably just sell everything.
for his lost and lonesome,
Yeah.
lost and lonesome bride.
The time has come again to deliver one of your fellow exiles to a homecoming in the Commonwealth, lest your adversaries, the Fate, achieve the same instead. The lone minstrel has returned and approaches as you await the signal from the stars. There's something that I wish to ask you, reader. Something which ordinarily would not be my place to discuss in any detail. You have observed the stars. If you would not mind my asking you in such a direct manner, how many liberation rites are you supposing yet remain? I think it's 2. You tell him the only logical deduction which you have been able to make based on all your readings of the stars of late, that there shall be one final liberation rite after tonight. I concur with your evaluation, reader. I wish to make certain that you are aware, so that you and the Nightwings may yet make the most of your remaining time together thus. As what shall happen once the final liberation rite is ended, we shall both find out. But lo, it seems that we are called upon once more. Look forth.
Reader, I would ask that you think back for just a moment, if you please.
Oh, okay.
When you first looked upon the Book of Rites, think back upon the words that it revealed.
Uh-huh.
Oblige the voice that tells you more. Oblige the voice that tells you more. Would that the scribes were here among us still. I would not sing your praises to them, rest assured.
Yeah, I know.
I trust that you shall savor this occasion. You shan't have to oblige me for much longer.
Okay. The Pyre's burn. Everybody's here. That's right, everyone's here. The bent old cur Delbert steps forward and struggles for a moment with his mask. Greetings, good heralds. I am called Delbert Oldheart. It is the greatest honor of my years to stand upon the sacred site upon which the 8 scribes first anointed those glorious proceedings. Nightwings, we are honored to be in your presence once more. Father, they are our adversaries, not our hosts. We do not need to be so gentle with them. They shall do their utmost to keep you from your freedom. Delbert, your son speaks out of turn. Control him. My sincerest apologies for his unnecessary outburst. Almer, please. We have worked toward this opportunity, and we must make the most of it. He puts his mask back on. My son and I stand ready to begin.
Whom shall you attempt to send home this time?
You know, I think I'm gonna let May go home.
May.
Oh, you mean me? Then I get to go home? But the 8 scribes, what if they still want me to stay?
Who shall be at her side? Tizo. Tamitha. It is done.
We give thanks to have this opportunity to face you, O Nightwings. Now let us strive to our fullest capability, with honor and with grace. Save your strength for the right, Father, and for the voyage home. Let this be our final battle against them.
Commence.
Oh no. Yeah, we're not gonna... That's okay. You can do this, Elmer. I believe in you, and so do the scribes. Wait, what? What is this? What are you talking about? This is the Liberation Rite. What are you doing? May pulls at her mask. I think you're my friend, Elmer, and so I'm hoping for the best for you, and for your father. He believes in you, and so do I. But we have to do our very best as well, and I know we cannot all prevail, only the Fae or the Nightwings, but not both. Elmer looks on in stunned silence. The outburst seems to have disarmed everyone. We all have to do our very best. And then the scribes, they're gonna watch over us and make everything okay. You'll see, Elmer. You'll see. She puts her mask back on as the Liberation Rite continues. Whether her words flustered your adversaries or emboldened them, you cannot tell. I love May. Hear us now, O noble Jomer, for we beseech you, surely we cannot prevail without your aid. If ever you have heard my prayers, I beg of you, please, smile upon us now. Whether from his prayers to the scribes or simply from Delbert's resolve, something comes over your fellow exiles here. If they are banished now, they shall not soon return. Oh, shoot. Jumped into the thing. Whew.
And there it is, at last. The blasted Nightwings proved their worth. An outcome which left little room for doubt. Thus ends the Liberation Rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen the exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free.
Oh, don't choke over
Absolved
our
of all
name.
misdeeds. Return to glory in the
You might hurt
Commonwealth.
yourself.
Her adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
Alas, my son, once more it seems that I have failed you. Father, wait, what good is freedom to us anyway, if we would be apart? I can go home? I think this means I can go home. She shuts her eyes. By the scribes, by the scribes. But what will happen now to you, to all of you? Can you not come with me? No, they say not yet. The scribes, they say not yet, although I think your time will come. Your time will come. And I will wait for you, because I don't have friends back home. At least I didn't used to, so I want you to come join me there, okay? But now the scribes are calling me, and so goodbye. She falls into the shimmer pool then, and she is gone. Goodbye, and please, oh scribes, watch over them, okay?
Godspeed, moon-touched one. The cycle of the rites is nearly at an end.
Tama, father.
Father, wait. Calm yourself, my son. The liberation rite is ended. But, no, how can you be so calm, even now, after what happened? Did you strive this night with all your heart, Almer? Yes, but it was not enough. It was not enough. No, my son, it was enough. It was more than enough. Father? So good. You return to the wagon after having prevailed against the fate in the liberation rite. Tizo wishes May a safe journey home. At least someone got out of here. You succeeded in liberating May, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. The last light of the stars still shines for us above. At this point, what has become of our plan needn't be the subject of our speculation. I trust that we'll learn the outcome soon enough. 89%. Our actions to this point shall pave the way, perhaps our faith as well. So let's, for now, focus on this. We stand upon the brink of the last turn of the cycle of rites. Soon we'll have a chance to get one of you home. Now, reader, up for a little stargazing? Let's see where in the downside we shall be returning for these final rites. You turn back toward the darkness to look upon the last few stars, too stubborn to relinquish their light. We could go fight the annoying dude, the bog crones. Oh, hey. The tempers are still about. Yeah, let's go fight this dude. He had a funny name. Once more, you are to face the chastity. Then, although I wonder, he hesitates before saying anything further. You cannot sense his thought. I apologize. I was lost in thought there for a moment. Let us make our way to the Cairn of Hayab, when everyone is feeling more refreshed, as much as possible. Okay, new book page. Legacy. Reader, though you shall always bear a burden, it is much lighter than the burden of a lonesome exile. Go forth and become free, then join with the others such as you and lead with mercy, continuing to demonstrate your worth, and knowing that the Empire's fall formed the foundation of our Commonwealth. You shall cease to be a reader and become a voice both to the free and to your successors here, who shall take up this book when you no longer need it. The cycle of the rites shall see to it that you and others like you shall be liberated, ere the coming of another age. May the stars shine ever brightly on us all. Interesting. The lone minstrel has returned already to the wagon, after May's homecoming to the Commonwealth and the Liberation Rite. Your companions are most grateful to you, reader. Would that Jadariel could have been here with the rest of them to witness May's glorious return. I trust they soon shall reunite there in your Commonwealth, where they may yet contribute to the outcome of your plan, and thus create a place that welcomes all of you. May you and your companions to continue to prevail thus. For now, Celeste and I are to return to our respective roles until we meet again at Scribe's Gate. Rest well for now, reader. He bids you a good rest of the night. Well, let's keep going then. It is daybreak. You are to set forth now for the Cairn of Hayab, for what appears to be the final time. Thereafter you shall return here for one last exile's final chance at liberty. Yeah, I assume we're gonna end up fighting Orlek at the end. Your flight takes you to near where you breached past Stormwall into Deathless Tempest. With the climate of the downside intensifying, you wonder if the storm has spilled forth from its confines and started to ravage other regions of the land. Kind of feels like this entire area is gonna explode once the rights stop. Okay, lick sand. Yeah, I like the idea of pursuing some vocations. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Fulfred. Yeah, I guess this will be the last trial. What have we given you? Restoring a pyre, that seems fine. The fancy talking sap, you mean? I shall be interested to see if he has learned something since last we sparred like this. This is my turn then. Let's see what we can do. I have to remember how you play. Right, they can't cast auras or jump. Listen, well, sap, you answer to me here. Uh-huh. Proper as ever. Show me then what you can do without the benefit of those whom you would lead. Blink. Oh, you're so much slower. Oh, that's mean. Shoot, right. Blink makes me go through. Okay, that's fine. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. I thought I got in there. No. Should have flung it. There we go. Blah. What a rough one. Defense, yeah. Defense. Definitely slow and defensive. That's definitely been my playstyle. I've not seen Sandra in some time. She has not changed a bit. But it would seem she left something for us. Lose bow. Volfred blink ability transports him farther than usual, plus 50%. Honestly, not bad. Yeah, because it's very good for you. You deal extra. Yeah, let's put this in here. Alright, survey. You volunteer to survey the barren wastes around the Black Wagon together with Tizo and Volfred. Tizo is eager to come along with you and Volfred. The search turns up nothing much of note, though wandering with Tizo and Volfred provides reprieve from a long day on the road. Together you return to the wagon in somewhat better spirits, and you can do vocation time. Hey guys, whatever happened to May? You brought her in here sometimes, and you know, the one with the frizzy hair. I liked her. Okay. Let's sell that. 15, huh? Let's see. Because you have already ranked up. I've already ranked up you. You are what I want to rank up. Boop. Yeah, it's true. I probably can sell off everything. I don't really need to. Looks like I got all the pages. Survival often is conflated with the physical. Though I guess I could get those single-use items. Survival often is conflated with the physical. When we think of survival, we assume the need to sustain our bodies or improve our bodies. The strong survive. But, and take it from an alpha chief, there are different kinds of strength. The spirit is what drives us. By comparison, the body's impulses are weak. Herein the downside, faith is found in limited supply. Trinkets and mere baubles that would barely fetch a price in our homeland. Here are talismans. Seek talismans that mean something to you. Hold on to one that you hold dear. It shall reward you with reminders of your faith, your power, your potential. Do you have permanently grants presence? I don't really need any Stardust anymore. Okay, what will I definitely not want? This one. You can have that one back. Yeah, definitely won't use that. I'm just gonna buy all the cursed talismans for fun. After Pyre banishes an adversary, spawn a moondrop which briefly grants. Yeah, we probably want to reuse that. Being banished. Oh yeah, we don't use that at all. Grants Spare +2 quickness. Okay. And then we'll grab this. And it's for those are for the next rites. Okay. After making all the necessary preparations amid the stark badlands of the Cairn of Hub, you and your companions await the commencement of the rites. It is quieter even than usual at the onset of such events. The lone minstrel appears bearing some sort of news. I have checked, and it appears as though the chastity have not yet arrived, reader. There's no sign of Manly or anyone. Their sigil is not set either. If what he says is true, and your adversaries are not present, then you presume the rite cannot commence. However, the stars themselves soon indicate you are mistaken. Darn stars, always telling me I'm wrong.
Reader, the Commonwealth, your home. Today it is aflame. Much like a stack of books. Aflame because of you.
Well, I do like fire.
Because of your outlandish plan.
Uh-huh.
Not that you care.
It wasn't really my plan.
Not that you shall live to see this place again.
Is
Your
that a threat?
attempts at revolution shan't succeed.
It sounds like someone
So
who's
by
mad.
all means, keep trying.
Okay, I will.
As for myself, I shall enjoy presiding over these remaining rites.
Okay. The rite is set to commence, but your adversaries, they have failed to show. Smartest choice I've seen them make. They had no chance at getting into another liberation rite, did they? Indeed, as the rites are drawing to a close, some of the Trivariates whom you have met, perhaps they are beginning to decide the stars are not worth heeding any longer. Vanley, you wonder whether he would give up on the rites like that. He seemed so convinced he would prevail and return in glory to the Commonwealth. Perhaps the contrary reality was too much for him to take. In any case, we have begun the ceremony here, so I ask that we end it.
Who shall besmirch the Nightwing's name?
I feel like this is a trap. It's like, you can just, just do it.
Very
I'm like,
well.
alright. Let us end this and be on our way. Conceding in the rights is frowned upon. Believe me, I should know.
Lo, even your adversaries have abandoned you, and it is done.
Oh,
The Nightwings prevail by default.
okay.
Not that their adversaries even care.
It's a little weird. Geez, I was disappointed to have had to end the rite this way.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes. Now go and wallow in the downside for a while.
Okay. No one speaks further of the chastity back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the rite that is to come. Last chance then, is it? If any of us is going to get out of here still, it's this time or never? I'm afraid so. Our plan, which has a 92% success rate, is an imperfect one. Yet here we are, faced with this vital opportunity. He looks over to you. Reader, please go see for yourself. I think we all know where we are headed next, and I suspect I know whom we shall face when we arrive. The others turn to you as well. You turn toward the wagon's door. You know what you shall see out there. Now, however, the time has come to face it. The dim and fading light of the final star still pierces through the darkness, demanding your attention, guiding you toward the endpoint of your path. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break so I can refill my drink. And then we will... I probably finish going through the whole game, because that seems likely. Yeah, sounds good to me. See you in a few. Okay, we're back. Do I want to hint the best ending? My assumption is I need to send up Sandalwood and win. That's my assumption. That was my plan. We're gonna, yeah, of course we're gonna fight Orlek. Because I also assume to get the best ending, the plan percentage has to be at like 100%. I could be wrong about that, I suppose. You are summoned to the Fall of Solium for your 7th and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of the rites be ended for an age. You sense that, if the rites ever shall commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that of any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. This is your last chance. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it is only fitting that the Nightwings should, in the end, be forced to face themselves. I suppose maybe you're supposed to send up one of every mask, but at that point, that would be... I would have sent up 2 already, because Hedwyn and May are the same mask. Which... yeah, means it'd be too late. Orlek, curse this damnable cycle that it must pit us against him in this our final chance. Let us retire for the night. We shall not have many chances more for the rest before our journey's end. The group disperses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Alodiel to make a final effort to achieve your plan and get somebody home. But who? 92%. Ah, but who indeed?
Foolish reader.
Hi.
Your so-called friends. You are accomplice to their hateful plot. They are exploiting
You can't stop yourself from being awful on Twitter
shall
either,
never
can you?
have your freedom.
Okay. I mean, I didn't really expect to get freedom, ever. Someone seems awfully angry. Just, you know, I don't know. So angry. Maybe he's a Jets fan. By dawn, you're already up and about after a troubled slumber. The black wagon is prepared for its final voyage to the fall of Solium. No one speaks. We call it X now. I'm never calling it X. As you lift into the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice, cutting through the somber mood. Reader, a certain olden ballad comes to mind just now. I think it may befit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind it very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings? What? Why would I mind? No, absolutely, play it. You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad, so that all among you might hear it. He begins without another word.
When the stars align, the right shall come to bear. Illuminate the signs, the exiles shall be there. All are not the same, but three shall be as one. Freedom in flame, the end has just begun. Strength may break our own, but twisted make a break. Together on their own, the journey shall be made.
God, I think I want to download the soundtrack to this game. Wilfred gains favor. Tizo gains favor. Tizo. You touch down amid the solemn beauty of Mount Aladale to make pilgrimage to the summit for one last time. There one last liberation rite shall soon commence. Yeah, I think I'm gonna download it on, I don't know, something that'll let me put it on my phone at the very least. The music in this game has been excellent, and I really like stuff with lyrics, and it'd be nice to listen to it. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain, to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. And in the Commonwealth, the plan, of which we have a 92% rate, of which you are a part, shall either come to fruition or shall be suppressed. After having landed, you join Tizo on an expedition to the monument of the molten Melith for what is likely to be the final time. Hello again, great-grandfather. I have come again to ask you for your favor, if you please. My friends, they wish all to return to freedom. I was hoping you could help them, just this one last time. I understand they cannot all go home, that this is beyond even your power, now that the Titan stars have spread across the night. Yet, by your leave, I wish to help them this last time. They are my friends. They are my friends. What else is there for me to do now, save to help them? Soon he is finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though molten Melith has shown you favor. At dawn, you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare. +3 glory. Nice. Gonna mentor Wilfred. Pretty sure if you buy the soundtrack on Steam, it's just a download? Okay. That would be good. Shields everyone. I've been terrible at shield. Let's just do this other one. We have 6.7 seconds, 8 seconds. Ugh. does this do? Presence. Presence is aura size. Okay. I think actually we'll put that on you. Oh good, we can find out what May's doing. Im's message pertains to May, who is liberated. Past transgressions have all been forgiven. You learn that she was taken in by a well-to-do foster family and was to be given private schooling of the highest order in the astralist tradition. A theocratic sect believing divine authority rests with the stars. They alone dictate the future. They promised her that in time she might one day have the honor of teaching the children of the Commonwealth herself. However, she soon went her own way, insisting that the 8 scribes themselves were calling her. She started wandering again all on her own. That is until she located Wolfred's agents. Thus her wandering ceased, and the ranks of the revolution grow stronger. May also left a simple message: believe in the scribes. You thank the messenger imp for the report as your companions gather to discuss. She better be more careful, else they'll throw her right back in here with the rest of us. She has the manner of a saint, that one. She knows in her heart the traditions of the scribes. Tizo misses having May around, though it pleased to hear that she is well. The news of May's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Plus hope. You stand before the scribe's gate with your companions. The gate guardian is there as ever, but you sense something different in her. The exiles of the Nightwings. We shall not meet again after the coming rite. Tarek and I. It shall be time we take our rest, I think. Greetings, Celeste. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone amongst us feels thus. We have a duty to uphold, Tarek. And then what, Celeste? And then nothing. Not for the rights or us, not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names and what it is you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with the sureness in their step. Tizo believes that his ancestors are watching over the Nightwings and seeks to live up to their legacy. My name is Wilfred Sandalwood. I long as yet to see an age where freedom is one's birthright, and no longer are good people such as these forced to contend for it. Thane. Here, I came seeking my blood sister Tamitha's forgiveness, since she ended up in here because of me. Maybe something good can come of it as yet. Finally, you step forth once more. You, a common wanderer who vowed to help their friends be free again, and who managed to come this far with this group. The gate guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway toward the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except for you, Tarek. You stay right there. I thought you said... The rites are not yet ended, Tarek. He looks to her, then over to the rest of you. Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align. The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart. You've gained the summit of Mount Aladale for the 7th time, the final time in which any of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. Hey guys, I guess you probably heard the big news. Yeah, I'm going out of business. Just hasn't been the same, with all the stars faded out and stuff. Anyways, just want to say you guys are great, and I'm sure I'm gonna miss having you guys as customers and all of that. But I got some good news though. All of my stuff, it's on sale now, and I will throw a little extra there just for you, okay? So yeah, enjoy. Maybe I'll see you around. 5% off. Great. Really, pushing that, huh? Alright, we have +4 presents. Quickness? Quickness might be good to have. Presence is your aura. Quickness. Hope is how fast you come back, right? He's just gonna. That's how you got a repeat customer there, Dad. You give him a deal. 5%. Alright. Yeah, movement speed. Good. Presence is... You're decently quick. Let's add a little bit extra. And what was this again? Quickness? Better. You've gained the summit of Mount Allendale for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. Lone Minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there perhaps some bit of wisdom that has eluded you thus far. Reader, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I'm grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well this night and always. Go forth with glory. Then he looks up and he extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You see Pamitha has joined you. All of your companions are there with her, in fact. Well, reader darling, what do you say we give those old scribes a little show to remember, then, shall we? It is strange for me to say, given the circumstances of our meeting, reader, but it's truly been a pleasure. Onward now, let us achieve our plan. Tiza wants you to know that he has the utmost faith in you. You look upon your fellow exiles, your companions with whom you have withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct this final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Wilfred's plan, the plan for which you all have been a part, shall be decided one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite.
For one last time, upon the fall of Solium, dear reader, hear me for one last time. For soon, the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days in that forsaken land. where you deserve to be. The rabble that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down.
Oh, good R's.
The exiles whom you liberated, all shall fall in line. But first, let us get on with this last liberation rite. You face none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore. 'Tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free. For you deserve each other.
Okay, everybody's here. But before the lone minstrel can concur as per the custom, not another word. The demon Oralek slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom once was stolen from me, then I was cheated of it, here upon this mountaintop. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment, silent. Then, Oralek dons his mask and stands prepared. May these damned rites cease forever for the misery which they caused. Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus, I would have your decision on whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite, the one whom you anoint, or else the exile Oralek shall be returned. Godspeed, reader. You know what is at stake better than I. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory. Nightwings, the stars remaining glow grows dim. Your decision, please. It's time now to choose who, if any one among you, shall go free this one last time. The rest of you shall remain in the downside to the end of your days. One by one, you meet the gazes of each of your fellow exiles. Volfred, Tizo, Pamitha, your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together you have come this far, but now the downside and the rights conspire to tear your group apart and disrupt your plan. Fate of your friends in the Commonwealth may hinge on your decision. Seems both cruel and unfair to have to make such a decision. Is there no other way? Oh, that's tempting. Is there another way? Having to make this last decision is unconscionable. It's too much. You hesitate, but then you sense a reassuring voice enter your thoughts. Do not give in, reader. Do not give in. We stand with you. The choice you are about to make, however you shall go about, and whatever the outcome, we understand. And so, you need not hesitate, and you need not explain. So please trust in yourself. For all the rest of us, we trust in you. You reconsider what you're about to do. You cannot back down. Alright. With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what to do.
One final opportunity for salvation. Too bad for the rest of you.
Long have I dreamt that I might someday see this plan of ours come to fruition. I promise you that I shall make the most of it, if we are to prevail. Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Volfred as well as you.
Who shall strive for him? Tizo.
Tizo is ready to do whatever it takes to see Volfred regain his freedom. Wouldn't have wanted to sit this one out, that's for sure. I don't think I could have made you.
It is done.
Those are to be my adversaries, then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts their will over that group? You sense Oralek searching for you, almost reaching out to you. You, the shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me, but you who would relinquish your own liberty for sake of them. Strange. It is fitting, then, that I should have to face one such as you. Then Oralek stands at the ready, signaling for his two allies to do the same. By light of dawn, the cycle of the rites shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time. The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence. Tarek. Yes, I'm prepared, Celeste. Then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Hi, Celeste. Let us make sure of it. I'm disappointed to see you here, Tizo, opposing me once more. Tizo is very upset and calls for Orlek to cease speaking to him. Orlek seems to stare at the imp for a moment. It's a shame that you're caught up in the middle of all this, little one. Your mind has been poisoned against me. Tizo insists that Orlok is wrong and urges him to stop what he is doing. I am sorry, Tizo. Yeah, I shall only say this to you once. Stay out of my way.
Begin. The final chance at liberation for the age.
Wow. Aggressive. Got there. You were the Rainments once again. You could not simply stand by and do nothing, Orlek. Yet that is what you did. When we last stood together on this blasted mountain, I fell. You simply stood. Orlek, what shall it take for you to be convinced I took no part in your betrayal? Orlek seems to consider the question, but only for a moment. Give me my damn freedom. Let me prevail here and now. Would you promise to uphold our plan, to bring about a better Commonwealth? No, I make no promises. I owe you nothing. Then I am sorry, Orlek. My love of my country comes before all else. More than your freedom and our friendship is at stake. Your love be damned, Volfred. Let us stand as adversaries then. The sky rains ash. Soon shall your Pyre zone mingle with them. Just then the skies above begin to rain down fire, the final throes of the cycle of the rites, and the ending of the age.
The orb is up.
There goes Tizo.
I almost pity what transpired there. The orb was cast into your pyre. A show of strength from the Nightwing's opponents. Good.
So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you.
How he has changed, that Warlick. Grown old and bitter over these many years.
Your exile shall return ere long. 'Tis what the scribes ordain.
Good.
Your fire weakens.
All of you, you shall rot here. You shall rot as I have. All these many years, you false Nightwings who would deny me once again my rightful liberty. You who deny what liberty to all of the triumvirates you face and vanquish under the guise of the traditions of those blasted scribes. Come, let us continue with this glorious affair. Oh shit. Orlick stands breathing heavily. He looks back on the thin lick of a flame that is his smoldering pyre, before turning his attention back to your trade variant.
And there it is. At last. The Nightwings proved their worth.
Oh.
Rather convincingly, I must admit. Thus ends the liberation
So
rite.
angry about it.
And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Praise the scribes, we've done it. Alright, does he try to push us off the edge? You look upon Volfred for what you expect shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now the Shimmer Pool shall engulf him. Any moment now he shall return to glory and join his agents in the Commonwealth to help achieve the plan. Any moment now the cycle of the right shall end until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now someone's gonna try and push him off the edge.
And thus, the scribes have chosen. And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Oh no.
And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Oh, this is so good.
Nightwings. Reader.
What did we break? Did we break something? It sounds like we broke something. Hold, there's something wrong. You think? Each prior time upon the fall of Solium, the Shimmer Pool is opened, following the liberation rite, and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now all is still, and the light of the stars above has all but died. You sense a growing fear that is already too late, that the Shimmer Pool shall not reveal itself again. Orlick approaches, his head bowed. The 8 scribes saved their greatest treachery for last. Then something else catches his notice. Wait. A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The shimmer pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Wulfred looks upon it, but it does not engulf him, or at least not yet. It seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes, this is not their greatest treachery. It is their greatest jest. The shimmer pool is flung wide open. It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. Orlek strides toward the shimmer pool, but... Halt, Orlek. Orlek glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise. The shimmer pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside and you shall surely drown. Of that I can assure you. He laughs to himself at this. Then we have all been cheated. No, the shimmer pool is revealed, and one of you may still return as planned. But as for who returns, someone shall have to choose, ere the last light of the stars is extinguished and the rites cease to be. This is the final trial of the scribes. Ah, one last decision to make. The final trial of the scribes. Then, our confrontation, the liberation rite, it all was meaningless? No, the victor of the confrontation is to be the one to make the choice. Among those closest to the scribes, either the anointed, or they who anointed them. So then the choice is mine to make. My freedom weighed against the readers, is that it? It shall be either you, the reader, or... It shall be either or... Wulfred, please, make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift. A snap decision then. Fine, I have made it. Reader, my kin, this chance at freedom that we've earned is yours. Take it now and make good use of it, for you and all of us. Wulfred wishes to give up his freedom so you may regain yours. Very well. Reader, the choice which Wulfred made, or rather the choice which he gave, it is now yours to make instead. This choice, it may keep bouncing back and forth like this. Absurd. It may until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and the outcome of the choice. That is the trial. And I fear there is little time remaining now. Reader, if you and your companion are too cordial with each other to accept that freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange. Reader, what is your will? Choose myself. Is what Wulfred wanted. My intention was to get him to go, or send Orlek. I'm gonna send Orlek. Your thoughts crystallize. You've chosen Orlek. What? Orlek, do you accept the reader's choice, or shall you make another? No, I shall not make another. I accept the reader's choice, the reader's mercy. Then it is done. For a moment, Orlek appears to be at peace, and then he is gone. I think it's the right choice, to be honest.
By the scribes. No stars remain aloft. The cycle of the rites. It is finished. The Commonwealth. What shall become of it?
I don't know. You might have to tell me. I didn't get to go and look.
What shall become of us?
We're all out of
Nightwings.
jobs.
The opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside.
Was it not enough?
That night, the exile Orlok returned to the Commonwealth. He was to be the last. The stars had faded, and the cycle of the rites had run its course. He found the Commonwealth in great upheaval. Spurred by the efforts of 6 liberated exiles, Wulfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles in the starless sky portended the return of the scribes. The people surged into the streets, shoulder to shoulder. Led by the 6 exiles, their voices shook the heavens. The leadership of the Commonwealth panicked. No blood was shed that night, and by dawn it was over. The leaders of the Commonwealth had cast themselves back into exile or joined in this new cause. Thus, in its 838th year, the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Saharian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Today we still remember all of this. And we remember the exiles of the downside whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not. In the aftermath of the final liberation rite, Orlac at last returned to his nation, one he had not seen in nearly 2 decades. He scarce recognized it. After all, it was in the midst of transformation, a social and cultural upheaval sparked by Wolfred Sandalwood's plan. When Orlac witnessed the people of the Commonwealth standing shoulder to shoulder and chanting together on the night of the scribe's return, he looked on in silence for a time. Then he stepped toward the crowd. A murmur and hush moved through the gathered citizens at the sight of him, for they had never seen someone thus changed by the downside. But then Orlac raised his voice with theirs, and they all stood united once again. History would know him as the Demon Doctor, a term of endearment that stuck even after his horns started to recede. He lent his skill and service throughout the birth of the Saharian Union. The one he had called the Shadow of the False Nightwings was someone whom he thought of often. He knew he owed his freedom to them. Having witnessed the aftermath of Sandalwood's plan, Orlac understood at last what his former companion wanted. Years ago they conceived a version of this plan. Now Orlac found he wished Sandalwood could be present to witness the reality of it. Alone with his thoughts, Orlac would sometimes visit the memorial of the fallen leaders of the Commonwealth. Though other such appearances, and notwithstanding his duties as master physician of the state, Orlac led a very private life. Few would have guessed that he once was one of the most accomplished rites conductors in the history of the Nightwings. History, of course, shall ensure we shall not forget. Oh, everybody's got a story. When Manly Tinderstoff realized the rites had ended, and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through this ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the scribes, spewing forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be very unbecoming of one of his high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via Messenger Imp, and used their vast resources to explore other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. I just can imagine what that looks like. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, a hot air balloon, even prayer. Nothing worked. There was only one way to escape the downside, and now it was gone. Tinderstoff bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such was his shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin to Cinderroot. There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news from the other side. It's just so funny. Once it became clear to Ignarius that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew that it was time for him and the Tempers to call it quits. But first he and the Tempers decided to celebrate, and that they did. For many, many nights, the revelry did eventually subside. The exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength. He never remained alone for very long, and took on many lovers in his time. However, he sometimes thought about the one he had called Curlyhorns, and what became of her. Though his glory days as the most powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he had cultivated at that time. Oh, let's see what Sir Gilman's been up to. When the worm Gilman returned to the Commonwealth, he believed that he had regained something even more important than his freedom, his honor. Gilman relinquished his knighthood and declined an opportunity to serve as captain on the Blood Border. He was not interested in fighting any longer. Yet, as it is sometimes the case with those such as he, a circumstance soon came about in which there came a need for him to once again make use of his military training. Thankfully, however, the scribe's return ended peaceably. Gilman was on edge throughout that night, expecting violence to erupt at any moment, but the moment never came. When the matter was at last put to rest, then Gilman truly knew this time as a night had ended. He declared to all of those in earshot that he would never fight again. Unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of circumstance, again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly just in case, especially with his fleet-footed friend, Rookie Greentail. From time to time, he would seek guidance from one of his former comrades, Big Bertrude, much his elder, and a wellspring of perspective on his life decisions. He was always grateful for having studied under the reader of the Nightwings, without whom he would never have completed his penance. Because of this, and perhaps because they were on opposite sides of the world now, Gilman dedicated his life to them. By that point, he had long forgotten about his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. Breaking free of his abusive leadership was his first step toward gaining a bit of self-respect. Gilman never did return to his homeland of the Sea Dominion, and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was just high up enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fear of heights. Oh. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen and the occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that honor was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. Who else do we... Oh, there's just so many people. Can I... That's... Oh, no, I can. With the rights drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falcon Ron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as it is sometimes the case with those of an entrepreneurial leaning, this time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least to a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falcon Ron had a run-in with a messenger imp bearing news from the other side. Ron gave it one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth in newly minted coinage from Saharian Union. Falcon Ron cut a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a gray area from a legal standpoint, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falcon Ron's goods to explode in popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrude's and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose own business had expanded. Especially in the Saharian Union, Falcon Ron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. Okay, I think we have to go see Rookie. After Rookie Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury, and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given in to his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Wolfred Sandalwood's revolutionary forces as he promised. On the night of the scribe's return, Greentail was there with the others, inspiring the masses. He never looked prouder, the very image of Jomir Many-Mane himself. When dawn finally came, and it became clear that the Commonwealth that everyone knew would be no more, he realized many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was as well off as he always said. He also kept in close touch with Gilman, never the perfect practice partner. They would train together often, taking care to stay in tip-top shape as much as possible throughout the years. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all of his friends, and knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the group of friends he came to know so well during his time with the Nightwings, wherever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. Oh. Barker Ashpaws never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found its bylaws to be stifling. So when the rites ended, he did not care. At first. He soon grew very bored. The rites had given his life a certain sense of structure he had always needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rites, for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the objects, but it was close enough. His pack mates, the dissidents, proved more than happy to participate, and thus they ran against each other back in Jumir Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rites, as well as those who had not heard of it at all, started to take an interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashpaws some healthy competition. His old feud with Rookie Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amid his new pursuits. Ultimately, even Barker Ashpaws, who had led such a directionless existence to that point, found something of a calling through the rites. Whether he took the rites less seriously than any other exile of his time, or more, was oft debated by those who watched him work. You know, I used to do this thing, and it's fine. I didn't care. Okay, maybe I cared a little bit. That's fun. Throughout her exile, Tamitha Thane was motivated by a single goal: to return to the Commonwealth and exact revenge on her ancient enemies. When she realized the rites had ended and that she would never see her mountain home again, she nonetheless remained determined to aid her people however possible. She gathered certain information pertaining to the intentions of the Nightwings, who had formed a pact to regroup on the other side after their liberation. Other such reports exposed certain weaknesses in the Commonwealth defenses and revealed to the Highwing remnants the opportunity for a risky but potentially impactful strike. As Tamitha could not participate in the assault, she learned what happened well after the outcome. On that night, known as the Scribe's Return, the Commonwealth had fallen. The Highwing remnants thus prevailed at last, without even having to fight. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha encountered her blood sister, Pamitha, come to pay her a visit. Pamitha had hoped their people's victory on the other side would be cause for reconciliation. Tamitha was skeptical of her intentions, however, and lashed out at her. Pamitha made no attempt to elude the attack and was struck full on. This cost Pamitha the use of her right wing, yet, after she recovered, she shrugged the incident aside and said maybe they could call it even now. From that point on, the Blood Sisters kept a formal distance, but were cordial with each other. Knowing that the conflict on the other side had ended, Tamitha retreated to the crags of Black Basin and grew ever more distant. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness. After the cycle of the rites had ceased, which Udmilde returned to the Flagging Hands region, where she sealed herself within the pit of Melith. There, even her fellow exiles of the Withdrawn allegedly grew unnerved after a time and left her to her vile work. Sometime later, the pit of Melith erupted into flame. So intense was the conflagration that it could be seen all the way from Jomir Valley. Arson was suspected. You know, the cause was never verified, and many bog dwellers in the region were forced to flee. A tempest blowing from the north finally quenched the flames. When at last the ashes settled and the grounds had cooled, the site of the fire was scarred beyond recognition, no trace of which Udmilde could be found. As for the contents of the pit of Melith, which notably included a profane object thought to be the remains of Shlak, all of it was gone as well. Back in the Saharian Union, Udmilte's repeated threats of the return of Shlak were thoroughly investigated, and no credence was found to any of her claims. We're gonna do the Dogfather first. As the cycle of the rites drew to a close, it grew evident that a chance at freedom from the downside had forever slipped from Delbert and Elmar Old Heart's grasp. Thus they and the exiles of the Fate returned to Jomir Valley. There they struggled to get by as exiles of the downside tend to do. Sometime after the rites had ended, the Old Hearts at last heard the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. This was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Delbert great joy, despite his forthright manner. He had no love for the nation that had cast him down, along with his son. Delbert Old Heart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the scribes. Elmer never shared his father's view of the scribes, but respected Delbert's wishes, and so after a period of mourning, Elmer began a new journey. Not a day went by that Elmer Old Heart did not think about his father and give thanks to him and speak to him at morning and at night. Would that the stars yet shone, for surely Delbert's would be there among them, smiling down at his son and watching over him and his kin. After the final liberation rite, Lendl refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. Yeah, it seems like a thing he'd do. He would sit through night after consecutive nights staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at freedom. It's a football league you could have joined. It's not quite the same, but here's close. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority, once liberty had slipped from their grasp. But Lendl dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted, rather forcefully, that any evening now the stars would shine for him again and mark the way towards his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lendl the Liar was never seen again. However, there have since been sightings of a bed-wrangled demon who wanders the downside and bears Lendl's cruel countenance, suggesting he yet lives. All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger only to find himself facing another. He had escaped the war-torn waters of the Sea Dominion, he had escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the rites. After the rites had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient tests were crestfallen, as their last chances to return to their homes vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for this outcome meant that at last there was no burden of responsibility weighing down on him. While most of his fellow exiles of the Pyre Hearts, yet longed for the waters of the Sea Dominion, driven as ever by their impulses toward conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass, a worm knight duty-bound, who had taken a liking to him for some reason. Reportedly, they disappeared into the waters of Worm Gulf, which may begin to explain the significant increase in worm population observed in the vicinity. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings became inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggested that the exiles of the Nightwings, who remain in the downside, continue to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there is no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. Sounds solid? By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remain skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal ever existed, or rather that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offered still another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Arch had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment would have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it may have meant that they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyonder Crystal remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwings who claim to have seen this apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence, or perhaps a little fear. After the rites ended, Pamithathene parted ways with the other Nightwings, stating that she needed time alone. She reappeared sometime after the fall of the Commonwealth, although she expressed mild surprise at the news. She claimed to have no knowledge of what went on, including what role the High Wing remnants had in the events that reshaped the world on the other side. For her part, Pamitha feigned little interest, making the point that they were stuck and what happened elsewhere had little to do with them now. One day, while traveling to Black Basin, Pamitha ran into her blood sister Tamitha for the first time since the conclusion of the rites. Their reunion was not as amicable as Pamitha might have hoped, and Tamitha, still resentful for their history together, turned violent. Pamitha would later brush aside the incident, though always had an injury to show for it. Yet from that point on, the blood sisters were back on speaking terms, at least for the most part. Having long since felt as though she had no home to call her own, Pamitha continued traveling about the downside. As the tempest swept across the land, changing its features, she found it in sublime beauty, and in the starless night she still could see just fine. She said such travels tended to remind her of when she was younger and could fly unfettered. Tizo. Once the rites had ended, I was tempted to send Tizo back. Just because I also think sending a drive imp up would be pretty good, but I think he'd be cozier down here. Once the rites had ended, the imp Tizo had a job to do, quite unlike most exiles trapped forever in the downside. The lone minstrel asked that he watch over the Black Wagon, which the Nightwings had used extensively for travel and for shelter all throughout their quest. Tizo obliged, for he knew that wagon, as well as its drive imp inhabitants, perhaps better than anyone. What became of the wagon exactly was never verified, as evidence of Tizo's thorough work. After that, he liked to while away his days with any of his friends, or else with fellow imps. Sandalwood sometimes called for his assistance, and Tizo was always happy to oblige. The two would often reminisce about their times with the lone minstrel. He often chirped about the reader of the Nightwings, with whom he built quite a rapport. The reader understood him perhaps better than anyone. Indeed, Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time with the Nightwings, and their many adventures throughout the land that was always his home. Other than that, Tizo would sometimes help interpret for messenger imps relaying news to and from the Saharian Union. Despite having gained significant celebrity abroad, he never let it go to his head. Tizo was great like that. And he would go fishing in the Sea of Solace at every single chance he got. The Commonwealth had never provided a sense of home for the one that they called May, the Moon-Touched, so she was surprised on her return that she was so well treated. She felt uneasy about it, and besides, she knew that she would do her best to fulfill the pledge she had made to her friends. Even she could not have expected the impact that she would have on the events that followed, which gave rise to our Saharian Union. Despite not fitting the image of any of the 8 scribes, May nonetheless stood out alongside the others, amid the teeming masses of the night of the scribes' return. She spoke of the scribes with such conviction and sincerity that the crowd was very moved. After the fall of the Commonwealth, there was a renewed interest in the legend of the 8 scribes, and many new interpretations of their histories and teachings. May found herself at the center of all of this. Her way of speaking continued to compel a growing audience. She swayed many people from their astralist beliefs. Soon the 8th Word, which had lost favor with the people during the reign of the Commonwealth, sought her out, and asked her formally to join, and she did right away. The sect believing that the 8 scribes were more than mortal. Okay. Through it all, she would wonder how her little friend Tizo had fared. While they were divided now by a great distance, he always remained in her heart. She cited her relationship with Jodariel as the single most important in her life. Jodariel would always provide for her a circumspect perspective and the wisdom of experience. May always was devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Many people in the Saharian Union cited that her gentle manner and unwavering conviction helped them brave the changing times with courage and with grace. May is great. After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth and was vital to the outcome of the plan. The peaceful outcome of the scribe's return was attributed to several key factors. One of them was the underlying ambition of the plan itself. Another was Hedwyn's visibility among the people in the streets. Identified to be liberated exile, he was believed to be Golathanian reborn. More importantly, however, was that one of the winged harps of the High-Wing remnants accompanied him. She was later identified as Fikani Shang, a harp for whom Hedwyn cared deeply. They were separated when Hedwyn was exiled. Their bond was symbolic of what was at stake that night and proved vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as a leader in the Saurian Union, Hedwyn oft confided in his friend Jodariel. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jodariel, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they might all be freed again together. He had broken that vow, for in the end, not all of them were able to return. A terrible guilt over this darkened his mood for a time. However, the others whom he still knew lifted his spirits, much like he had often lifted theirs. All the Nightwings knew the stakes. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not at all able to remain in contact. Thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so in turn did they oft think of him. Well, sounds like he did quite well. After her liberation, Jodariel soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Saurian Union. Her horns and stern countenance inspired the people to believe that she was Solia Mur, reborn. She became a great, if reluctant, leader. In the uncertain times that followed, Jodariel's seasoned expertise often came in play, both in matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted and trained a team of volunteers. Conscription forced? A team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon came to value their service. They've stood for the people ever since, and we celebrate their founding day each year. She remained close with Hedwyn all through his experience, and they supported each other through their struggles many, many times. She kept an eye on May, who nonetheless demonstrated a surprising knack to get by on her own, though Jodariel was always willing to provide assistance, just in case. She never settled down with anyone, although from time to time she thought about Ignarius, despite herself. She continued training on her own, a regimen that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and sometimes she obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. Except for that one time where I didn't put her in the game. She got all grumpy about it. After returning to the Commonwealth, the crone known as Big Burchard promptly returned to the wet climate of her ancestral home in the southern bogs. There for a time it appeared that she had distanced herself from any involvement with society or with the plan for which she was part. We know now that she worked diligently towards the goals outlined by Sandalwood, yet well outside the notice of even those who watched her movements closely. For example, the printed notices spread throughout the streets about the night of Scribe's return were all her doing, yet no one knew until she owned up to it much later. Subsequently, she returned her focus to the sort of work which had preoccupied her for many, many years, both in the downside and in the Commonwealth. And she remotely managed aspects of her business in the downside, ensuring that the exiles who remained there still could get a hold of certain valuables. Much of her effort was doubtless due to the influence of Valfred Sandalwood, someone whom she admired now for decades. Though they were very far apart now, she sought out news as to his whereabouts, and often cast enchantments in his favor. Bertrude, most of all, kept busy with her work. The inks and notices which she still brewed and manufactured once were grounds enough for a quick sentence into exile. Back then, the one thing worse than spreading lies about the Commonwealth through speech was doing so in print. Once exposed, such writings all were burned. Now, the written point of view is to be honored rather than to be feared, and Big Gertrude remains one of our time's most notable purveyors of this craft. It is quite likely something you have read in recent times would have been put to parchment by her handiwork. When the cycle of the rites ceased turning, Volfred Sandalwood turned towards the starless sky and closed his eyes and prayed. It was all that he could do at that stage of his plan. He aspired to assemble the liberated exiles, representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the rites ending sooner than expected, this ideal scenario became impossible. Sandalwood's own freedom, for instance, was now forfeit. Yet the plan did have contingencies. Fortunately, most of those contingencies did not prove necessary. Word reached him that, on the night of the scribe's return, his fellow liberated Nightwings stood together and their voices echoed through the streets. These former exiles, who ought to have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership, now stood united with its people, who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in its nature. An overwhelming show of popular support would be more than enough. Ensuring that was his priority, and in the end, the result was self-evident. The plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood kept busy after that, as much as possible, providing counsel from afar to those who would be at the forefront of the birth of the Saria Union. Of course, being stranded in the downside meant that there was only so much he could do. Resting assured that the future of the nation was in capable hands, he turned his attention to the remaining exiles of the downside. They might never return to that new nation, but at least they would experience its triumphs and its struggles in some vicarious way. So he took to his old work, writing and printing. As literacy began to spread again throughout the Saurian Union, so did exiles of the downside take to it. For his part, Sandalwood helped to teach as many as he could. More than that, he provided the material to read, a semi-annual report about the latest events both in the Saurian Union and the downside. He started a zine. He made a zine. This periodical gave many exiles something to look forward to. One of his allies in all of this was the imp Tizo, with whom he traveled all across the downside. Sandalwood often cited Tizo as the wellspring of his own enthusiasm for a brighter future. Such was the creature's spirit. He welcomed the company of the reader of the Nightwings at every opportunity, and counted them as a trusted friend, and a keen editor. Ooh, job security. Sports reporter for Barker's Football League. Oh, there's definitely got to be a section in that zine for that. He was pleased to hear that his one-time friend Orlok had once more become a productive part of his society, yet he spoke little of their time together. As Volfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and his contributions, it is said that he remained steadfast about 2 things. A name for the publication? It probably involves trees or wood somehow. Maybe the sapling. Walk with my sandal. It's pretty good. The first was that the cause itself ought to remain in focus. The freedom that the people had achieved, it was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The robust branch. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn, by name. He never forgot any of them. A mile in my sandalwoods. Oh, I like that. If not the zine name, that's definitely the autobiography name. One day to commemorate his birthday, the people of the Saurian Union unveiled a monument depicting him and the Nightwings, as imagined in their prime. While Sandalwood did not learn of it until much later, it is said that he was moved to tears, then by the gesture. It has since ensured that those of us with memories more fallible than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and our cause. Alright. Celeste. Oh, yeah, okay, I guess they both go together. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel... Wait, do we get to see the voice too? Okay, no. First these two. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. Their parting was heartfelt but brief. He remained there at the summit of Mount Uladial with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tarek nor Celeste were ever seen again. We know all of this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Saurian Union and merely were imbued with weight of folklore. However, exiles liberated from the downside corroborated each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests these minstrels were heralds of the scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know and rejoined their patrons. One of their famous songs describes another, simpler outcome, that the two gave up their duties to the rites in favor of a life that they could share together. I'm gonna go with that one, that sounds great. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verses and such songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. There is one more account which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of them. I wanted to hear the voice being angry again. However, some accounts of them begin to paint a picture. We know they were of common birth, always directionless and prone to misremembering at times. The journey to the downside left them close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found them. They brought them from the brink, they showed them the path. They pressed onward with the others. They had made a vow to help their friends be free, thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. In the end, however, they remained in exile. From that point on, accounts of them diverge. It is said the voice, which troubled them, they never heard again. Some say they sailed across the Sea of Solace. Though whether that is true, only they know. See, we're getting some flavor text from our choices. Someday, perhaps, that reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time, and even after, all of us give thanks. Okay, I had to pause there because I almost said pierce the heavens. Apparently, I have memes in my brain.
Their journey began on a barren waste where the reader arrived, afraid and alone. When they arrived, the book of rites awakened the Nightwings and ignited the flame. They follow the stars bound together, strands in our brain till the end. We sing of the last of the Nightwings who, having broken the cycle, shall live on in song. Headwind prevailed and strode the path that his heart laid before him. He has found his way home. Captain Joe Dariel, mother to many a foundling, she has found her way home. Rookie Greentail has proved his worth and returned to his family by the grace of the scribe. parched girl. Hears the scribes in the world all around her. They have guided her home.
Tis all the wise, ever faithful to the cause of the night wings. He remained to the end.
Sir Gilman the Bold, ever in his quest, finding honor and glory, he has found his way home. Amith the Thane, born on guilty wings, ever seeking forgiveness, she remained till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. Bound together, spirits tether, strands unbroken, strands
The great mastermind, Wolfred Sandalwood, saw his plans turn to action. He remained till the end.
The enchanter Bertrude made her rivals pay with the darkest of curses. She has found her way home.
The reader at last made the night wings whole, having bound them together. They remained till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. Now at the end, as we bid farewell and return to the stars, we shall find our way home. We shall find our way home. We shall find our way
What a good game. Oh no, we put the stars on the floor. That song's assembled all at the last moment. I'm assuming based on like some decisions and stuff that you make in the game. The end. There's a lot of other lines for every possible choice in the game. That's a lot of work. True Nightwing campaign mode unlocked. Options. Is this one? That is not. Nope. Wrong button. What is true Nightwing mode? You played Hades, are you surprised Supergiant does many extra lines? No, it's just... I imagine all the work that goes into that, and I get kind of like... I don't know, amazed. True Nightwing is a campaign mode. So if I select new campaign, does it... Ah, there we go. So we played on standard. Heightened is harder. Truing. For players who finish the campaign, your adversaries shall be favored by the stars themselves. Base difficulty, same as Heightened. All Titan stars unlocked, and some must be used. Enlightenment required to rank up, rescaled. Cannot load checkpoints or restart rights. Book of Rights and White Loot fully unlocked. Slug Market inventory fully unlocked. Feats of Glory introduced much sooner. Huh, interesting. Kinda makes sense. Oh, we're not gonna do that right now. Because we've made credits. We finished game for stream. I had fun. I enjoy the story a lot. The character's great. Story's really fun and interesting. We didn't fail any of the fights, but I do like that you don't have to win the sports to have a story happen. Is cool. Yeah, the only thing that I didn't totally enjoy was doing the sportsing portions, but I didn't hate it. I actually think it's even kind of a neat thing that at the end you have to pick one of your best players to essentially be liberated. So at some point, if you're doing well, the game is forcing you to try to play with other people. I cannot wait for Hades 2. Supergiant Games does really well. I can't imagine starting this game and being like, oh yeah, the music's great and everything's good, and then you show up to Hades and you're just like, oh, they voice acted everything this time. Like, all the words. Oh, it's very good. I guess, this next stream, I wanted to do the Princess Peach game coming up, but that won't be out by next stream, so maybe we'll play Kirby or something else that's short. It's also very Supergiant, figuring out ways to force you to try other mechanics. Transistor, I think I have it downloaded. I don't think I've played it yet. I think I have that in my to-do list. How long have you been on? Alright, I think we will go raid Erica. Erica's playing Minecraft. Rhythm Tuesday, conversely, you could just take a break. It's true. I mean... Make sure I spelled that right. Yeah, that looks like it's spelled right. I mean, by break, I'm at least going to stream something that doesn't require me to read so much out loud. which I like doing, by the way. But, yeah. Invalid username. Oh. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Erica, who is just looking like they've gone to a cat camp, so that's exciting. I will see you all next week or sometime sooner, maybe. Take care, everybody. And may you find the freedom that you seek? Sure, why not?